Yes. We're coming live with Night Views with SYL Abdul and Los. Night Views, so we're on kind of a night shift during a game right now. We got the Rams versus the Lions opening week NFL Sunday night. Yo, we had to punch in. We had to punch in right now, Carlos. We had to come on in here. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. It's been a crazy day. It's been a crazy day today.
We got plenty to talk about. Shout out to everyone that catches this stream. Night Views. Again, this is the official sports podcast of SYL Abdul Sports. We did a little rebranding with the sports platform for YouTube algorithm reasons, just to let the viewers know. People search my name, SYL Abdul, more than SYL Nation. So I had to kind of switch that up a little bit. So, want to make sure we're catching y'all, you know what I'm saying, no matter what. But, hey, right now, it's overtime right now. So we're kind of going to chat about this Rams and Lions game. And let's see. Oh, I'm supposed to have this on the over screen here. Let me see. Right here is we in overtime. The Lions got the ball right now. I don't trust them. I don't believe in them.
MTJ, where you at? Yo, MTJ, where you at?
I don't believe in them right now. But hey, shout out to Jahmyr Gibbs. He is like a good weapon.
Yeah,
kind of like that LT type Silos. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how he plays.
Yeah.
Running.
I'm also liking how they're utilizing Montgomery as well. Not only because he's on my fantasy team, but
right. Montgomery is like between the tackles more.
Yeah,
because I remember he used to be with my Bears. He just did the run right there. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Between the tackles, and he gets you that yard. He goes uphill always. Gibbs will kind of dance a little bit.
Right. Give you the yardage.
Yeah, and especially in the passing game, he's a really good pass catching running back. I'm gonna give him that credit.
Right.
He was on my fantasy team last year. And let me see if I adjust this because they're putting up the plays as we go. Let's see.
Right, yeah.
And hopefully y'all catching this on your local NBC. We gotta see how this ends, man. It looks like the Lions may put
shout out to Peacock. Peacock has been streaming football all day today.
Shout out to Peacock. I got the annual subscription. I tried to tell people a couple months ago. I said Peacock's going to have exclusive NFL games this season. They had a deal for $19.99 for a year.
Ridiculous.
So during this year, during the Christmas and I think I don't know if it's Thanksgiving, but the playoffs is going to be exclusive games you only can see on Peacock. Know this firsthand, Carlos, because your Dolphins, the playoff game versus the Chiefs was only on Peacock last year. You see what I'm saying? So it's like that exclusivity. It's real.
It's crazy because it's only some of these games, especially playoff time, like you're saying, it's going to be Peacock, but it's also going to be Paramount. So the two of them together,
Paramount, And I don't know if Amazon's going to have playoff games, but they have the Thursday,
right? Prime
Amazon
Day,
Prime, yeah. I don't know if they have let's see, Black Friday. I forget who has Black Friday this year.
That was
Amazon last year.
Was it? Okay, so because
last year was because that was your Dolphins as well last year.
Right on Black Friday. That's right. Yes.
Yep. This year I'm not sure.
Thanksgiving this year actually. I'm excited for that.
Oh, okay, so y'all gonna be on the main. So I was praising the Rams D line. Montgomery, game over.
Wow.
Game over, folks.
But hey, man, you on my team, I'll take it. Let's go.
Hey, much respect to the Lions. Like, hey, I was talking a lot of trash about them.
Should we pull up that message? Nah.
We good. Hey, I stand by everything I said. But I say after this game, and let's kind of talk about this game just briefly. We'll kind of start talking about this game. Again, props to the Lions. They stepped up. They got a real opponent tonight. I don't know if people realize how good the Rams are still.
Yeah.
Carlos. It starts with Matthew Stafford, right? I mean, he's all pro quarterback. We was talking before we started recording.
It's crazy because like
owes his career to him. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, it's crazy. Like, people just forget, like, he won a Super Bowl, and it's like he's the one who led them through that Super Bowl at the end. Yeah, Cooper Kupp was amazing, but somebody had to throw to Cooper Kupp.
Look, this already the game's over the last.
Yeah. No, you should see that. The chat.
We're gonna see you week 13 when he trade James.
Oh man,
I'm a Bears fan. People don't realize I'm a Bears fan. So he's a Lions fan. So yeah. We got a lot to talk about this season.
Yeah,
but with the Rams, like I said, both teams look good. We're talking about the NFC, and we're gonna go back. If people don't realize, we're gonna go back to what happened opening Friday and Thursday. We're gonna talk about all these games, but these were what I saw tonight with the Lions and Rams, Carlos, is that these are two playoff teams that just teed off tonight.
Oh yeah.
This is what it looks like.
Well, what's crazy about it too, and I know we're gonna get to all the other teams, is that the way all these games started, man, it was almost like they were tripping up on their own feet. Like and then it just became like this grudge match of like last man standing. It's been a good Sunday for football today. You know, coming off of some good games last night from college, and then coming into today, it was nice. I had some fun with it. I was working earlier, but I had my phone in, had Red Zone, Dolphins game. It was crazy. Damn near fell off the airplane today while I was working on it. I was like, oh my goodness.
Shoot. Hey, first of all, like I say, shout out to Money Train James, but like all of our teams won today. So like I didn't lose. Like I don't know what he's talking about. Like I didn't lose at all today.
Right. Hey, same here.
And Cole didn't lose either. So it's like we good out here, bro. I'm glad you finally joined.
Finally.
The winner circle.
Finally.
You needed an extra quarter. You know what I'm saying? That's a Lions. That's a Lions for you. But no, I think, like I said, let's kind of break this down just a little bit before we get to we're going to talk about this whole week of NFL football. We got college football. We got a little WNBA talk as well. But since this is the here and now, Rams and Lions, I guess what stood out to you? Like I said, it kind of starts with the quarterbacks for me. Matthew Stafford still got it, but the Lions got more weapons than I thought. Carlos, what did you think looking at these Lions tonight?
So it's not only the weapons, it's the mentality of them buying in. That you can see that everyone on that squad, whether it's Montgomery, whether it's Gibbs, everyone on that team, they're in. They're following Campbell through the end. He's like, run through this brick wall, they're gonna run through it. Like we haven't seen this type of Lions team yet. Like we've seen, little spurts here and there the couple seasons, but today, like you just saw, like no matter what, they kept chipping at the wood. They kept chipping, and then here we go. We make it to overtime, and they take it, man. So I gotta give him credit. I gotta give him credit, man.
Hey, we're giving all props. We always give all props over here on Night Views. You step up and get that W. We gonna give you the props for that. But with that,
don't give too much props because FTJ said y'all got lucky.
I said, we got lucky. Did we need overtime? I don't know. I don't understand. Like what are we saying out here?
I actually have a lot to say about y'all Bears, but when we get,
what are we saying out here? Oh, you already know I got a lot to say, but as far as with the Rams Lions, just briefly, I don't have the actually I do have the stats to throw up here. Let me throw this up here real quick because I'm getting used to some Sundays when we go live, it's gonna be crashing into the game, so we're gonna be ready we're gonna be ready when that time comes for sure. But the Lions just took out the Rams in overtime. They needed overtime to do it. It's all good. It's all good. A W is a W. I didn't need overtime. Did you, Coach? Did you need overtime today? I don't know.
No. We actually came back during the game and kept our lead during the game.
Gotcha. Just throwing it out there. But the Lions need overtime.
Yeah.
Out of all teams, week 1. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So, but real quick, like I said, good job. NFC North is looking pretty thick this year. With all the teams. We're gonna talk about the Vikings in just a few moments. I'm a fan. If people don't realize, I'm a fan of the game. So it's like when when a team comes out there and executes and like does their thing, I'm actually impressed. I'm impressed. Even if it's not my team. You know what I'm saying?
I want to be the first to say I want to do an apology statement to Darnold over there at Minnesota. That man just.
We're gonna talk about Darnold. We're gonna talk about Darnold.
Just went off.
Real quick, Rams Lions, Matthew Stafford, 34-49, 317 yards. He still got it, folks. Like Stafford, you gotta keep him upright. You don't let him get hit too much. He still has the arm. You saw the angles he was doing out there. Like Stafford,
he seemed comfortable. You could tell he's been in the squad, for a minute now for these last couple of years. And he's like I said, they're buying in, man. Like he's comfortable. He knows where his receivers are gonna be at. He's throwing it out there. Man. It's the
James is wild. James is wild. Jared Goff, a good game manager type, 18-20 of 28, 217 yards. I would say I wish he would have found Amon St. Brown a little bit more today, but maybe the defense dictated what he did. Jared Goff, what did you think? He didn't make too many mistakes, one interception. But what did you think of his performance?
It was for a first game. I mean, shoot, we can sit here all day talking about today when it comes to the quarterbacks. Right. But you can see he was just trying to get in the mode, and same thing for Stafford. They were trying to get into that rhythm, but it was there. Like you saw the motions moving. It's first week's stuff going on.
We got to remind people, like preseason, they deleted one game from preseason and added it to the regular season, right? So you have a preseason where just for normal teams, my Bears had an extra game because of a Hall of Fame game because we inducted the greatest returner ever, Devin Hester, into the Hall of Fame. So it only made sense that we played that game. But you get 3 preseason games for most cases, right?
Yeah.
No one plays that first game as far as starters.
Right.
And then your starters get in probably second game for a couple drives to get your rhythm.
Right.
And then you pull them. And if you still got to see some people, you put them in the week 3, in the preseason 3 game. So you only have one dress rehearsal from most of these teams. Like your team, I don't think he probably saw like one drive.
Yeah, he saw it was the second preseason game. That was the only game he played, and so I was actually talking to my dad about that as well. And I really do think, because I think I'm hearing that they're trying to take away that third week as well of preseason. So if that does happen, I really do think they need to at least have one mandatory, or whether if it's 2 mandatory preseason games where you guys have to play, because you saw a lot of the mistakes in a lot of these different. But the first play of Thursday was a penalty call on the formation. Like it was pretty.
I'll push back slightly, only because when I was in Indianapolis, the stadium Peyton Manning built out there, you have 4 preseason games during that time, and Peyton didn't play to the 3rd game.
Right.
And all the starters was in there, and Peyton wouldn't come out the game until they get a touchdown drive. But it was only that one game.
But okay, I feel that. To your point, though, how many practices did you guys have in between those? So whereas now with these 2 weeks, you have really that you only really have like 2 to 3 practices before the actual
And
you have training camp, but
watching Hard Knocks, and shout out to those who were first off, we are live on the Night Views channel and on the SYL ABDUL Sports channel as well.
Yes,
and
sir.
Carlos YouTube and Twitter, SYL ABDUL Sports Twitter as well. On my SYL ABDUL Sports YouTube channel, I was covering the Bears Hard Knocks, right? And instead of that 4th preseason game, they do a joint practice with that third week team in the preseason. So for us, it was the Bengals. We did a joint practice with the Bengals. We destroyed Burrow. Now I understand why he didn't do good today. And then then we played the Bengals in the 3rd game preseason. So it's almost like you want to get your reps in. They're kind of getting it, just to answer what you said with practice, they're kind of getting it with those joint practices. You know what I'm saying? Between week 2 and 3 in the preseason. But it's no perfect way. I think you want to kind of protect your stars. You want to protect the people that's been banged up. And you can say it's 2 preseason games.
Yeah.
They only going to play 1. You know what I'm saying? The starters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you said, if you mandate it, but I think the Players Association and they won't agree on that. They would never mandate that. And just in my opinion.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, Rusty Goff didn't, it didn't seem like Goff was, A1 today, but he did what he needed to do. He used his backs. Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs. You see Montgomery got 90+ yards and the touchdown on the ground. Then you come with that thunder and lightning, with Gibbs. What do you the Lions backfield?
Yeah,
it's probably top 3 in the league, right? I'm gonna give him that credit, right?
Top, yeah. Nah, because I gotta think. I mean, I mean,
just off the top of the dome.
Yeah. Top of okay. Like who would you? That's pretty hard because
Well, because I think your Dolphins are up there as far as backfields. Yeah, those are the 2 teams that jumps in my head. Lions are pretty stacked because they have 2 starters on their depth chart. And your Dolphins have, I say 1.5. Mostert is kind of there, and then if he gets hurt, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got Achane and
Achane. Then they got a 3rd guy. We're gonna talk about them in a little bit. Your Dolphins, man. Where does this guy come from? That's that rookie, I think. You were warning us about
number 9. I still don't know his name, bro.
We're gonna find out today. But just to wrap up this Rams Lions thing again. Lions, props to y'all. Rams, Puka Nacua, the star rookie receiver from last year.
Yeah.
On a pace to get 20 catches today. Then he gets hurt. He gets hurt earlier. He got hurt earlier. And then the knee. I think they said knee. He was battling that during the offseason. But they didn't miss a beat because Cooper Kupp is healthy now. Yeah. Who had the greatest wide receiver season ever. Yes, better than any Jerry Rice season, Michael Irvin, Megatron, Randy Moss. Cooper Kupp was the best receiver in regular season and the best receiver in postseason and got the Super Bowl MVP.
Yep.
That's the great season that Cooper Kupp had. Then he got hurt. And he's been hurt for a couple of years. Now he's healthy. You see 14 receptions, 110 yards. Whoever has, and a touchdown. Whoever got Cooper Kupp on fantasy, you were eating today.
Yeah. It's just not fair. We're going to have to talk trades, whoever got him in the league.
And just to wrap up the receiving thing with the Lions, Jameson Williams, he's on my radar now.
Yeah.
For fantasy and underdog FanDuel stuff. He's on my radar right now. He's going to get looks like that? Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to talk.
Yeah. And that's something about Goff that I actually enjoyed seeing today. The way he was just spreading the ball. You can see it wasn't about who needs to touch it. It's about who's open. I'm gonna get you the ball. You get out there. I'm gonna find you and just catch it. So it was nice to see.
I'm used to Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's supposed to eat up these catches and do his thing. The defense kind of dictates. And again, props to Goff. He realized, okay, they're bracketing Laporta, the tight end of the Lions, and Amon-Ra St. Brown's probably double the whole night. So Jameson Williams or Gibbs out of the backfield. We're going to hit you. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I give credit to coaching and you know what I'm saying, and golf, and do your thing. Y'all in the win column, right? So interesting stuff. Very interesting week of football. We're gonna kind of just dive right into. We're gonna stay with NFL right now because it's a lot to talk about. Let's go back. Let's go way back to Thursday. It's been a crazy weekend of just sports.
I got a lot to say about Thursday's game.
And we're going to start with the Chiefs opening up the season, got their rings. They got Lamar Jackson. He comes in there, a good back and forth. Well, I would say the Ravens came out early. The Chiefs countered with a new nasty weapon, Xavier Worthy from Texas. He's as fast as the 4.21 combine speed says. 2 touchdowns for the day or that night. And just by the tip of the toe, Isaiah Likely, who that's a good fantasy option as well for the Ravens.
Yes, sir.
He was that close to tying the game. And according to what Ravens was saying, they were going to go for 2 to win the game if he got that touchdown. What's your thoughts? We're going to talk about all this, man. We're going to let all this breathe. But what's your thoughts opening night? Chiefs, Ravens, Mahomes got a new nasty weapon. Lamar, people questioning his gangster out here. What you gonna talk about, Carlos?
So I can attest. I am one of them. I got a little segment I want to touch on with Lamar later, but as a whole, the Baltimore came out great, but that one problem we talked about last week. Was who's going to be running the ball and who do you want running the ball. The second half of when Baltimore came out was not that same team. They try to be something that they weren't. They try to get away from their run game, and that is what cost them this game. Mahomes, believe it or not, I think the Chiefs looked really sloppy. I don't think the Chiefs should have won this game, to be honest with you. Kelsey barely got the ball. I mean, I would know. I have Kelsey on my fantasy league. He got about like 3 receptions, barely.
Well, actually, let's throw these stats up. Go ahead. I don't want to.
Nah, you good. Up there. But like Mahomes is doing Taylor Swift plays out there and stuff. But
Rashee Rice got the targets that Kelsey didn't get.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. That's what it looked like. All right.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. And I mean, I guess you can attest Baltimore's defense for that, because that's really the reason why Baltimore was able to stay in this game. Their defense had moments to come back, and then but yeah, to start off on Thursday night, this was a fun one. I was at a bar. You had the Ravens fans, you had the Chiefs fans. They were going back and forth, and my only gripe, and then we kind of touched on it earlier, was the whole penalties called. Like the first play of the game was a penalty of missed lineups and all that. So it's just first week growing pains, I guess. But no, I had a good time with it. Had a good time.
So this game, like you said, it started off pretty fast with the Ravens integrating Derrick Henry, right? Yeah. That's what I was looking forward to, saying, okay, let's let someone else kind of take these blows between tackles instead of Lamar.
Right.
First drive or two was great, and then they kind of went back to Lamar ball, and things kind of stalled actually for a couple quarters, which I was a little surprised at just the coaching decisions, I would say, Carlos, of the Ravens. Yeah. To kind of put Lamar back in the crosshairs. It's like, no, like you have this filthy weapon, Derrick Henry. Like, I would run him 30 times.
100%. 100%. Now, to your point on that, though, Lamar Jackson missed some crazy wide open passes, especially at the end of the game. Not so Likely, but that play right before Likely, he literally had Flowers wide open, and you already saw Coach. Coach was putting up the number 2 here. Make sure you guys see it on the camera. He put up that number 2.
Just to push back real quick with that, according to, because I don't know if again we watch other sports podcasts. We're fans of like Podcast P, You watch what's the homeboy? You watch the other Teague. You watch Jason Teague.
You
got
the OGs podcast and all them. Yeah,
and I watch Marcellus Wiley as well, he's a football player, right?
Yeah.
And he captured something post game of the Ravens Chiefs. And according to, and I challenge everyone to go catch the either the replays or the highlights or go to Marcellus Wiley's channel. After the game, they asked Lamar Jackson. Now, first off, I would say that first throw to Likely at the corner of the end zone, yeah, he overshot that like heck. Like,
yeah.
He almost got Likely killed, throwing it as high as he did, right?
Yeah.
That second throw, which was behind Zay Flowers, according to the tape, and Marcellus Wiley and Lamar Jackson after postgame, he was going to actually another receiver. Rashawn Bateman was coming across, and when it's scramble time, he was to come through, and Bateman stopped. So Lamar was throwing to where Bateman's supposed to go. Everyone thought it was Zay Flowers. It wasn't for Zay Flowers. It was actually for Rashawn Bateman. According to the tape.
Yeah.
To the tape. I don't want to give people the excuse either. That night, Carlos, when that throw happened, I was like, okay, Lamar, like what?
It was bad. It was bad.
I was like, I
thought, shout out to Pat White, old school backup quarterback for the Dolphins, who played baseball. I thought it was him out there, bro. I was like, what is going on, bro?
That was as bad of a miss we probably will ever see in the game. But just according to what they're saying, and it's only because multiple outlets have said this. I was like, okay. Lamar was going for someone else, and just Zay Flowers happened to be there. So that looked bad, though, live. That looked totally bad. But then it comes down to Isaiah Likely, who, again, is the top target now for Lamar. Just the inch of a toe. It's like you basketball fans. It's like Kevin Durant a couple years ago versus the Bucks. Like you get your tiptoe on the line, and things would have got really interesting.
And you can see when he landed, you can see he was trying so hard
it was toe, It's that extra toe. He's probably like a size 14, should have been 13. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I would say I see a lot of people reacting so hard because, again, let's take in that Lamar didn't miss that bad with Zay Flowers, right? Because if he really missed that bad, then I would be really worried about the Ravens right now. I'm like, Lamar, like, bro, like your accuracy, you off like that, bro? Like, you Josh Allen out here. I'm sorry, but because
it's crazy because I was about to bring that up. Later. I was thinking about it, but I had changed it to something else. But because there was a couple plays where his accuracy was just like, okay, Lamar.
Okay, go, yeah. We got a special CeeLo segment. We're gonna talk about that for sure. But just that specific play. Then we'll talk about more evidence. But but if it came down to just the size of Isaiah Likely's shoe, that they lost that game, the Ravens may not be as far off as this is my theory. We'll take this down. They may not be as far as we thought, Carlos, but the Chiefs may not be, their defense may not be as good as we thought either. Like, maybe this is more of a, this was a close matchup, obviously. And this ain't a runaway. This is what I get after watching the game today as well. The Chiefs are not like clear cut, just better than everybody. And the Ravens are not as far off as maybe I thought. But what's your take on that?
Well, I mean, with that as well, I mean, going back to last season, I don't think the Chiefs were that team last season either. Like towards the end of the season, then they did, shine. They showed up. But like starting off last season, there was a lot of question marks. And Kelsey being one of them. Is he gonna come back? Is he, whatever it is? And I see that same trend. I mean, I know we kind of jump around with sports here, but the Aces, when they beat Liberty, they were the same way in the playoffs, going back and seeing some of them play before they won their championship. they were like number 4 seed. They came into the playoffs. They were like struggling, but they still, grudge match through it. I see the Chiefs still at that same level, but what we are seeing now as a whole in general with all these other teams is that they're finally making moves. It's not I'm going to stick with what I got and we're just going to learn how to beat Mahomes. We're going to get pieces to beat Mahomes now. So it's like we're seeing these teams grow and add pieces now. So it's like we're starting to see that these teams are doing what other teams once did against the Patriots when Tom Brady, the GOAT was winning. And that's hard for me to say.
Yeah.
Call it.
Oh, he's the GOAT. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Tom Brady's the GOAT.
He is.
You gotta give it to him, man. 7. We got 7 of them. Yeah. He's the GOAT.
Well, to that time though, you started seeing teams learn how to they had to, change their lineups and do different things to beat the Patriots, to beat even the Bucks when he was winning with the Bucks. And it's like now we're starting to see these teams do that with Mahomes, and it's kind of a cool thing to see, man, because it's making the whole league in general better and more competitive.
This will get it's a quarterback league, right? That's what the sports talk shows are keep telling us, every time we watch it. And it's like, and it's true. Like your quarterback has to make those throws. That's why I could be a little hard on Lamar because I'm like, it's certain throws. Yeah, he still has to make. Again, we're taking out the Zay Flowers play.
Yeah. Take that one out. Take that one out. Sure.
We're taking that out. But there are other plays we need Lamar to make. If you're going to be, because there's plays with Mahomes, he doesn't miss, man. His receivers will drop it before he misses.
Yes.
And I would have said the same thing about Matt Stafford. You miss one here and there. But Stafford's, you talking about Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. I would have said Joe Burrow, but today he laid an egg.
I don't know. He got to dye his hair back or something.
So you're talking about, so you go back to like Brady, Peyton Manning. I'm talking about like the greats, Dan Marino. They don't often miss, right? And Mahomes is in that conversation, whether y'all like Mahomes or not. I know that.
No, it is.
I don't know a lot of people didn't like him as much, but it's like he's putting in the work, right? And that's the difference between the Chiefs and a lot of teams is that you're going to miss more than Mahomes misses.
Yeah.
And now he has Xavier Worthy and he still has Kelsey and he has, you know what I'm saying? And so the trick to beating Mahomes is that, your quarterback play got to be on par. That's really the only answer to the Chiefs right now.
In other words, you got to go offense for offense. Your defense could be great, but the thing is, no matter how good your defense is, against a guy like Mahomes who can throw softballs, like side balls, and like you never
throw behind the back now, right?
Yeah, you never know what to expect anymore. It's more of a team effort at this point than it is just.
I like how you said matching offense because like you have to make that play. Like Lamar, he kind of waited to the last drive to make that play.
Yeah,
and if you'd have did that in the third quarter, put the pressure on Mahomes because as we learned, that's what Tom Brady did when he sunned Mahomes. Every time they met, right? Like he was like, put Mahomes down. Let's put that pressure on him, and then let's see, what he's going to do.
A good example.
Current quarterbacks haven't learned that yet, Carlos. Yeah,
a good example of I want to say of when Lamar was, just the Ravens in general, their offense. I don't know if you remember, but before Henry, Henry got that touchdown, that was the first, drive of the game or whatnot. But there was a lot of plays where, Lamar is feeding Henry, and then one of them he did that play fake where he gets the ball, he gives it to Henry, he fakes it, and then he runs.
That's
and
scary.
It's like, but that is like something that's like you got to beat him with what you got. You can't beat him. So in other words, you can't play the Chiefs game, and that's what happened in this game.
You can't go arm for arm. Like Brady could do that. I mean, Stafford, Aaron Rodgers could do that. Burrow, when he's like healthy and like the team is ready, he could do that. But not everyone can do that. Like Josh Allen, run, and he did that today. I'm gonna shout because I'm not going to highlight his game because it doesn't matter to me. But shout out to Josh Allen. Like was like, okay, when I got to run, I'm just gonna run. I don't got Stephon Diggs anymore. I got rookies out here. I'm going to run. I'm going to use what I have. And that's what Lamar started doing in the second half against the Chiefs. And it was just not enough at that point, right?
But that goes back to going offense for offense, but that doesn't mean don't match offense with offense. You have to beat them with your type of play, your type of offense to go ahead and then that's how you do it. That's how you do it. You got to beat them with your game, not theirs. So
like I said, Chiefs, 1-0. They raised the banner, they got their ring. Ravens, I wouldn't say, like I said, week one. Let me just kind of preface everything we say on this show today. Week one is still like preseason.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying. So you're going to have some sloppy play, some uneven, type of situations. I'm not going to conclude much from week one, just to put it out there. But the stars are still going to shine. You know what I'm saying? But like team overall, I'm not going to overreact to probably a couple teams we'll talk about. But and I guess speaking of overreacting, let's just go ahead. Let's go to the second game that happened Friday. You got Eagles versus Packers. Now, what I would say as far as with the Eagles, I mean, it was a high flying game, a shootout. You had a couple turnovers on both teams. Jalen Hurts kind of had some moments where I was like, "Yo, bro, you good out there, Jalen Hurts?"
Yeah,
we got him with 20 for 34, 278 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions, and I think he had a fumble as well in there. But very sloppy game from Hurts, on into the whole theme that week one's a little weird.
Yeah,
a lot of things. And Jordan Love, his name Jordan. Yeah, his name Jordan Love. What's his name? Jordan Love. Okay.
Yeah,
Jordan Love. He missed a lot of throws for a guy that's supposed to be like anointed as the next, the next it guy out there, and then he gets hurt at the end. Well, unfortunately, we didn't want to see him hurt because I want to see the Packers full strength. I'm a Bears fan. I hope he's back. He's gonna be back. He's out for a couple weeks. I hope to see him back later this season in the Lions. We want to see them at full strength and see what we got. But this game, people was talking a lot about Jordan Love kind of missing, and Jalen Hurts is more sloppy than we thought. But Saquon Barkley, maybe him. What's your thoughts on this game, Carlos?
So I just found out that the field that they were playing on was actually a soccer field. They just converted it into a football field. That just the turf alone that makes I know they throw that fake turf on and everything, but just the leveling of that, not making excuses, but that does make a difference. Being in Brazil as well, the weather and all that. I know we hate talking about weather and how it affects the play of everyone, but that's a lot of things to put it. So with this game in general, it was a lot of like, I didn't take it as their first official game because they weren't home, or they weren't, stateside. So it was just a very different feel. You could see like both quarterbacks, like you said, like they were struggling, they were overthrowing things.
Yeah.
They had to keep it very grounded. Now, what I do think this showed is how good of a run game, a healthy run game, the Eagles actually have that a lot of us were taking for granted. We didn't realize like Barkley coming out here to break some records, and I don't think this was a fluke. I think this is something that's
real quick. Saquon Barkley. I mean, you see the 24 for 109 on the ground, 2 touchdowns on the ground. He also had a receiving touchdown on top of that.
Yes,
which is just this isn't fair. Again, all I can do is compare people to like LaDainian Tomlinson, Marshall Faulk. When you're like you're talking about Hall of Fame. We put C-Mac of the 49ers in that group as well. And for Barkley to be first off healthy, Saquon Barkley healthy, and on a good team, a contending team. Now the Giants no more.
Well, that's the thing. He looked like Giants. Barkley. That's scary.
Saquon, like I said, he looked like Marshall Faulk out there in that game. And so that kind of covers the sins of Jalen Hurts a little bit when you have potentially the best running back in the game on your team. And then let alone A.J. Brown, a nasty TO type weapon who can break out anytime. The Eagles, though their defense was a little shaky week 1, right?
Yeah.
They're off. They look totally legit from offensively.
And to your point, like you see the receiving yards. AJ Brown is their number one like offensive target, and I thought he had a very quiet game compared to Barkley. And like just imagine if they're both hitting on both cylinders, like watch out, Eagles. Like at this point, the ball will be in Hurts' court, and Hurts will be the only ones to be able to lose it.
What's up? Shout out to Money Train James. You gotta go to sleep, bro. For sure, bro. Come back Tuesday. We'll start a little earlier for you on work nights. Yes, but we had to watch your team tonight. It's your team's fault that we started this late.
Yeah, but blame them Lions, bro.
Shout out to James. But now I will say, and we'll talk about more teams in just a moment. I was very impressed by the Eagles for the NFC.
Yeah,
we'll see what the Niners do tomorrow. We'll talk about the Niners in a little bit, but they play the Jets Monday night. Insane game right there. But out of the NFC teams I saw this opening week and today and everything, the Eagles are at the top.
Yeah,
they're at the top of me, and we'll talk about another NFC East team in a moment. I will say I'm a little impressed by that team in Texas a little bit, but we'll talk. But for the Eagles, Hurts, you can't turn the ball over this much. Like you can't do that.
Yeah,
can't do that. But when he's on, and he's finding AJ Brown now. Saquon, maybe the tush push isn't as strong without Kelsey. Anymore. Jason Kelsey retired, all pro, all Hall of Fame center. Not too many of those. He's one. And you lose him off the offensive line. I look at this game, Carlos, there was like, let's kind of figure out what's our life without that anchor, right?
Yep.
This offensive line. Okay, we got Saquon. He can kind of mask. We're still learning about this team, but they still put up numbers. They still do what they need to do.
Another thing I kind of want to throw out there, do you think, and this is just me, spitballing here, do you think that this game actually showed us that last year's, and this is going to I know this is the first game, but last year's Packers run wasn't so much, I don't want to call it a fluke, but it was, or at least defensive-wise.
This is what I'll say. I think, defensively, the Packers had a problem even last year. And the 49ers kind of exposed that in the playoffs. And then Jordan Love, and this is any quarterback, because I don't want to make this like I'm dissing every team that's not my favorite team, but it's like any quarterback, like I was a fan of Peyton Manning, right? Indianapolis Colts. You put enough pressure on him, Peyton starts dancing. And the Patriots did that to him like every other year. To knock him out of the playoffs. So it's like with Jordan Love, the 49ers realized, okay, just up the pressure on this guy. Like he won't be comfortable at all. Yeah. And that's what kind of took them out in the playoffs. The Eagles, their thing was they just outgunned them, which was crazy. I'm not used to the Eagles being this offensive juggernaut, but again, when you have Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, like they got so many weapons. Goddard, I got the tight end Goddard on my fantasy team.
Yeah, like
they got so
you're welcome,
many
by
weapons.
The way, for that. You're welcome for that.
So it's like Jalen, he didn't do too much this week, but he's gonna be good for the year. But Jalen Hurts is literally, he was the only problem. Yeah. And they still kind of pulled out at the end. But with the Packers, though, which is what you were bringing up, was that a fluke run? Yeah, I mean, you catch the Cowboys early in the playoffs, you always have a chance to advance. I mean, that's why I've learned my whole lifetime. All of our lifetimes, we've learned. You catch the Cowboys, you can catch them slipping.
How did I not see that coming?
I'm just saying. I mean, that's what so that's the only win, right? They beat the Cowboys. Okay, is that really the accomplishment? I don't know, right? But you go toe-to-toe with the 49ers, and they made it a game. But they put that pressure on Jordan Love, just like the Eagles started doing the second half, and he was missing all the throws. That's the book. They go all these teams. Carlos, they come and go as their quarterback, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So that's why I went with the Packers. Is Jordan Love ready for that? I don't think he is. Before the injury, he was missing a lot of throws and Bill over there. So
okay,
yeah. So we'll see. I mean, right now he's out for a couple weeks. This division's thick. I mean, you got the Vikings winning, Lions win. Everyone else won but the Packers in the division. My Bears won.
Who's their backup?
Was it Malik Willis? I think he was with the Titans before. Okay. He's a backup for a reason. And so they're going to catch a couple more L's. And actually, since we're talking about this live, I'm going to kind of talk about the Packers' schedule coming forward here, because we do have to kind of set as far as what's their future.
Yeah.
Going forward here, because it may not be pretty. May not be pretty going forward. Now, let's see. They got the Titans next. Let's pull this back up here. No. They got the Colts next. Okay. They got the Colts, Titans, Vikings. Just the next three, and the Rams after that. The Colts, we're going to talk about them versus the Texans. The Colts are, I think, a legit playoff contention team. And again, they're coming into Green Bay, going against Green Bay's backup. Yeah. Go to Titans. Titans was good for the first half till my Bears kind of, exposed them. And then Vikings goes to town against the Packers. Sam Darnold is like a popular name that's being searched today after that game. So, and let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna pull this up so y'all see what I'm seeing with that. So these next three games, the Packers are in trouble.
Yeah,
without Jordan Love.
Yeah, they can maybe squeeze by with a field goal win against the Titans, but
that's about it. And the game that's obscure right there, that's behind like me and you, that's the Rams.
Oh yeah,
coming to town. Or no, you're going to the Rams.
And the Cardinals, like they balled out today as well too.
Yeah, they good game against the Bills.
Yeah.
So Packers in trouble, folks. That's what we're trying to say. Overall, with what they're doing there, but let's go ahead and go to because we want to kind of get through these other games that's going on. But those opening two games, it's always something special about the NFL season starting. So that's really cool. Thursday, Friday, and then next year they want a Saturday game for NFL as well. So they want Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday next season.
Tuesday too?
Yes, Tuesday as well. Yeah.
Oh, so they just trying to take over.
They try to do a little 5 day. I think they said a 5 day run. If I counted that right, that's 5. I think that's 5. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's too late
Friday,
right now.
Saturday,
but
Monday, 5 days.
So Monday, okay, so not Tuesday.
No, Tuesday's night views. Tuesday's night views.
I got you. Yeah. Monday, Thursday to Monday, 5 days in a row. That's opening week NFL. I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for it,
man.
Like this week was great. And then we go on to more. So speaking of going on to more, we got the Steelers. Mike Tomlin very happy with 18-10 win versus the Falcons, which I will say a lot of people was taking the Falcons were favored by at least a couple points, probably like more than 3 or 4 points.
So Cousins did play today. I didn't get to watch this game.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins played. The Steelers, they started Justin Fields because Russell Wilson was a little gimpy, which was interesting. Justin Fields goes out there, as you see, 17-23, 156, very game manager type. He will run when he needs to as well. Falcons on that side, Kirk Cousins seemed a little bit out of his element. Couple turnovers, less than 200 yards. I don't know if you caught any of the highlights, but we'll pull up the stats as well with that. Very if you are Kirk Cousins fans or Falcons fans, you may be calling for Mike Penix to come in there pretty soon because Kirk Cousins didn't look too comfortable out there with the squad. I mean, he got the weapons. He got Kyle Pitts. He's a big, nasty tight end, like a I'm trying to think who I can compare that guy to. He's like he's bigger than like what Shannon Sharp was back in the day. He's like a huge tight end who can run.
Right.
And then you got Bijan Robinson on the ground, stuff like that. Again, Fields, he game managed. He got multiple running backs. George Pickens, or is it George or Greg? I don't know. Pickens, he's good. But it's about the Steelers defense. TJ Watt was wrecking havoc all day. I talk about my favorite defensive players. Myles Garrett is my favorite with the Browns, but it's a 1A, 1B. TJ Watt's like right there. You know, like
that family name, bro. It's just
TJ Watt. Yeah, he's probably even nastier than his brother, JJ, the Hall of Fame, JJ Watt. I don't put Micah Parsons up there. He's not. He's not up there.
Just so y'all don't know, whatever chance we get to bash on the Dallas Cowboys, we gonna bash on the Dallas Cowboys.
No, I should say something nice later about them, but I'm just saying in this context. Yeah, in this context, no, TJ Watt is him and Myles Garrett, and right now today goes to TJ Watt. He's the best defensive player in the world. And Mike Tomlin has a formula to win. Don't turn the ball over. Get it to the playmakers, run the ball, and play defense. That's how the Steelers win. That's how they win 9-10 wins every game. Did you catch any of these highlights, or what's your thoughts that Justin Fields gets to win? Former Chicago Bear, much love,
right.
Justin Fields.
I caught a little bit of the beginning, and I did find out about the whole Russell not playing today. So this is actually pretty interesting because we actually had called this last week when we were talking about leading into this week, how Russ wasn't going to last as a quarterback, and rightfully so. First game he can't play, and I think Russ needs to not unpack his bags. I think Russ will be gone pretty soon.
I don't see. I mean, I think this is Justin Fields' team. I think what we saw today, him not turning the ball over, handing the ball off. Don't get too fancy out there, but run when you need to. That's all the Steelers need right now, and
he looked comfortable.
9-10 wins. Yeah,
he looked comfortable. He looked like he bought into the process, And Tomlin is a great coach. He'll do that, I think like you're saying, I think this is Fields' team, and I think he's gonna prosper a lot with them. Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be a very interesting division, and we'll talk about that more, as the weeks go here, as far as records and stuff. But you're in the same division, Steelers, of the Ravens, Bengals, Browns, and hey, you got the win. Everyone else lost. Right, you're number one. And was it NFC? Was it North or whatever that is? AFC. Yeah. But shout out to still. Hey, you got the win. As the East, I don't know. Who cares? But you played it your way.
I do got a question. So Cousins, he had his surgery this previous offseason, right?
Yeah.
So did he play any preseason game? I don't think he did, right?
I want to say he played at least a drive. Okay. I think I saw him talk about at least a drive, or it was probably one of those joint practice games
that makes more sense.
But he got against live competition. He has. But coming out in this game, it's like Cousins. The Falcons, all they needed was a quarterback last year.
Yeah,
they didn't have one. And so you get Kirk Cousins. He's like you want like above average to average as possible. That's Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
That's what he does. He'll get you just enough. Everyone else has to do their part.
Right.
Everyone else didn't. So they lost.
It's a matter of meshing well with the team. So okay. It makes a lot more sense now looking at the stats and stuff.
And it's week one. He had some weapons. Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson. The Falcons have weapons. It just Kirk Cousins has to kind of get his feet under him. We'll see what happens. We're not going to overreact too soon, on a lot of these teams. But when props are due, props to the Steelers, all field goals, no touchdowns.
Right.
They win this game off 6 field goals. Amazing.
That's crazy.
Right?
That's crazy.
I mean, hey, might as well Mike Tomlin's happy, right?
Yeah.
So let's go to a topic I'm pretty sure you're happy about. We got the Dolphins and Jags. Now, I'm going to say, I was a little worried early, bro. I was like, I ain't going to bother him.
Nah, you know what? I ain't even going front. I was worried before this game even started, just because of this. Well, we don't have to really touch on it, but the situation that happened with Tyreek Hill and getting I guess you would call it arrested.
Detained for a moment.
Detained, yeah. But like, I knew that was already gonna bring in like some mental like breakthrough, for that first half. What I really loved about this game is hearing from all the players afterwards how Tua did something that he's never really done in the past seasons, and that's he came into the locker room and he was like, this is coming straight out of Tariq's mouth, using his Hawaiian accent and cursing everyone out and saying we need to get our heads out of our asses. Like, it's time to play. And as you saw, after that, halftime, the Dolphins just flipped the switch, and you had that whole yardage of it was 80 yards to the touchdown for Hill, and then it was just the whole trickle down effect. Something I was gonna compare to earlier. Who were we talking about? We were talking about, I forgot. It was a team, but I was comparing Waddle to whereas like, you have that top. Okay, Cooper Kupp, I believe that's what it was. So you were talking about how they have that one guy they were going to all time, which is Cooper Kupp, which for us is Hill. With having Waddle and Waddle establishing himself now, it's like when Tua starts going to Waddle, you see the defense start to shift and like, we don't know if to go here, if to go there. Now you add an Achane in there, and then you got Mostert. So it's like you're seeing the complete full team. Definitely was a sloppy is like an understatement of a game today.
Just to call out Tua here, or shout out Tua again. 23-37 for 338, 1 touchdown. Probably should have had a couple more, but these are the type of numbers he's been doing. Since he got Tyreek Hill. Yeah. This is what Tua does. He gives you 300 plus.
Very mobile today, I might add. He was very mobile today, which is something he's like, I'm telling you, he lost a lot of weight. You saw him running, actually, like, huffing out there.
I would say, like, what was it, like 2 or 3 years removed from the scary incident? Yes. When he had that seizure on the field. And it's like a year after that, it was kind of like, let's not go back to that. And then last season was just, let's be healthy for the whole year, which he was, relatively. And they made it to the playoffs, and then you ran to the eventual champs at that point. But so with Tua right now, it's like, okay, you're not afraid to get hit anymore, because that takes. I can imagine a mental part of that, right? And again, people forget this story. Like that's part of this where Tua had to recover from that. I saw him seizure up on the field. Like a lot of us saw that live. It was a scary moment, right?
He contemplated quitting. He thought it was done.
And most people was advocating it. Maybe you shouldn't. You don't want to do this anymore. Like you get that one more hit. That's what they said about Steve Young and Troy Aikman. They got those concussions and things like that. Yep. Like, man, like maybe you should step away. It's not for everybody, but they protect him more. But now it's like football is a contact sport, so it's like you're gonna get hit. You're gonna get hit. It took him a couple years to get used to being hit again. That's just being human. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now he's out there. He's standing in the pocket. He's delivering. Yes, everything was kind of rusty again week 1, but the numbers. He has the best numbers of week 1. I guess you want to count Patrick Mahomes. He had a couple more touchdowns, but Tua's right there. If you're going to talk about MVP early, Tua already has the numbers right there. But then you have this backfield, this Wilson Jr. guy, Achane. I don't know what Mostert did today, but that backfield was doing their thing. I saw Achane had a couple good plays when I saw it. And of course, Tyree Hill, just give him the ball. He's going to make magic.
So Wilson Jr., that's another running back. So the guy we were talking about, number 9, I have to get his name. Like, come on, Carlos, get it together, man. This is my team. I got to get it
if
together.
You don't, I won't.
Yeah. but just adding him. So he normally plays fullback, but he's played tight end as well. But they have him in that, so it's that play where they set up where you usually have Tariq coming in, taking the ball and running out. So now you got that number 9 player coming and doing that. Now you have Tariq wide open. So now Tua has that play option to where he can run that play where that number 9 comes in. He either runs, trucks everybody, or you have one of the fastest or the fastest receiver wide open down low because they're worried about the play action going on. So it opens up a lot of things. So Ingold as well. Ingold was another one who balled out today. So
yeah. So y'all definitely had several people coming in, and like I said early on, again, I attributed all that to week 1 because I know Trevor Lawrence is not that good, and his numbers attest to that. When it got to the second half, he's like terrible in the second half, most cases, or he only gives you one good half. That's what I would say about Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. Well. So back to that whole preseason thing. So we talked about that. So the Jaguars, they all played their preseason games, like the whole starters. You saw the difference in the beginning was that once the Tua with the Hawaiian accent, got the rust off, it was like, hey, we need to lock in. Like we're over. Everybody just got paid. We can't be losing games anymore. They're like we can't be out here with this. And they just turned the lead.
All right, they did what they had to do. So I said, I mean, the Jaguars, all you gotta do is kind of keep the pressure on them. They kind of fold.
Right.
That's what I've learned from a couple of times. Any other standouts from your team? I mean, like I said, Tua put up the numbers. The defense really, really, I don't know if it was like a shutout second half, but they really hampered down the Jags.
Why he's the top cornerback paid in the league.
Top paid corner, yeah.
He showed up and showed out. It was great to see, man. And I think the real test will be against the Bills this coming Thursday. And you best believe I'm gonna be all over that game because
we'll talk about that Tuesday for sure. Yeah. I know you ready for that. I know you're ready for that one. It's exciting. This season, the scheduling. Shout out to the schedulers.
Yes.
For this season. We'll talk more about that. Let's go to the next game here. We got the Texans and my Colts, my second home away from home, Indianapolis. And this is what I will say, because again, I'm a fan of the sport first. I got my favorite teams.
Yeah.
But this was a fun game. I know my team lost, but I like the Texans too. I like how they play. This is a fun game to watch. The Texans come out there, CJ Stroud versus Anthony Richardson. Everyone knows Richardson got hurt earlier last season.
Yep.
They had a chance to really see him blossom like we was, wanting to see what he could do. And today he showed us this man has an arm. My goodness. Anthony Richardson. This
flinging
dude,
it out there. It was crazy.
I mean, you talking about you let him set his feet, he could throw it like 80 yards. I think he could. He threw one for like 60 plus yards in the air. For a touchdown as well. This was a fun game to watch, and I was here for it because I knew CJ Stroud and the Texans, I know they're going to do their thing. CJ Stroud, 24-32. This guy, he had the greatest rookie season ever as a quarterback. 2 touchdowns. You add Mixon from the Bengals. Bengals could have used him today against the Patriots. But then Stroud has Nico Collins on my fantasy team. And you got Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell. The Texans are loaded, but before I get your comments, shout out to the Colts saying, hey, they're both in the AFC South.
Yep.
I can't wait to see them play 2 times, maybe 3 times in the playoffs. This was a great matchup today, Carlos.
100%. And it's to your Colts, man. Like, can we say the Colts are back? Can we officially say that?
We got our quarterback, man. We got our guy. This is Cam Newton 2.0. This is what Anthony Richardson is, right? And you let him set his feet, he can candidate, but as well, he gives you that running game. So you're talking about the Lamar Jackson type thing, dual threat. Accuracy could still be a thing for Richardson, but he spreads the ball around, which is really good to see. And you just got all gunned by CJ Stroud, who's like he's him. CJ Stroud's him.
Another thing I would like to say with this as well is, and we touched on it a little bit last week, this is right here is the start of the narrative of Diggs being that quote unquote cancer in the locker room. He balled out today. Like Diggs literally balled out today.
A couple catches. Yeah.
He was everywhere, and you could just see like the team in general. Houston was last year, they played great, but they were missing something. Diggs can be that. And obviously adding Mixon can be that, those pieces that were like, okay, they're going to have the season that everybody's thinking the Packers were going to have with Jordan Love. No, this is the team that is going to go far, So it was fun to see, and I can't wait to see more of these.
This is a scary team. Joe Mixon is the wrinkle. So Stephon Diggs, that's one story. That's right. You're saying, okay, CJ Stroud, let's just go practice out there. Just go practice shooting out there, right? Because like Nico Collins is him, bro. Like this dude, I need a jump ball, just throw it up. Just throw it to Nico. I don't care if he double cover. Nico Collins is that dude. But Stephon Diggs, red zone, that's what Diggs got his touchdown. And you still got to account for him. This dude, like, I don't know what the Bills were thinking. I don't know what they were thinking the last 2 years, not giving Diggs the ball enough.
It's crazy.
That's that story, though, Carl's like, was he the cancer or was Bills, like, tripping? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because, it just proved today with the Bills winning how they won. How did they win? They won by
all Josh Allen.
Josh Allen just running the ball through everybody. Yeah. And that can only work for so long. You can't beat big name teams like that. And when
that doesn't win the playoffs.
When you have an asset like Diggs, like they had Diggs running the ball as a running, like, coming off the play action, sweep, catching and running. Kind of like what they do with Tariq on with the Dolphins. They had him do that a couple times. And that's how he got most of his yardage. And like to use him, they're actually using him and utilizing his skills. Whereas like in the Bills, it was more like, we need a big play here, save us, and just throw you a freaking bomb covered by 4 people. You got to know how to use your players, and this young Texans team, they know how to do it. So
no, they didn't, and it's unfortunate for the Bills because watching Josh Allen today, and again, I'm not even going to break down that game. It was just a game against the Cardinals, which was good. It was good to see Kyler Murray back healthy.
And, he was beautiful.
He was running around doing his thing. He's on my fantasy team as well, so he did pretty good. Did pretty good today. But Josh Allen, he's like, I gotta be Superman every game now.
Yeah, and
I don't know if that's what you want, or how is that going to translate in your division? What we got? AFC East with the Dolphins and Jets over there. How is that going to translate? Because when you match up with these other teams, we know the Dolphins got the offensive firepower, so you're going to make Josh Allen run for 3 touchdowns? You know what I'm saying?
And then not only that, with our defense as well elevated.
We defense really assets, stepped up. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then with the Jets, we'll see, because we still haven't seen how Aaron Rodgers' Jets look like. We still haven't seen it yet.
So I really think he's going to come out to play tomorrow. I really think the Jets
I'm really
are
excited
for
that game.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Again, NFL schedulers. Y'all did this last year. Aaron Rodgers Monday night. It was such a glorious week. Then Aaron Rodgers came out holding the flag on 9/11. And he blows his Achilles out. It's like, that was just a terrible. Like, so what do y'all do? What do y'all do for a follow-up? Let's schedule Aaron Rodgers Monday night again this season.
So if there's any consolation to you, Aaron Rodgers, Jets fans, so you guys have something to look forward to for tomorrow. Phillips, Jalen Phillips, he played today for the Dolphins. Had the same injury on defense. So he had that same injury. He tore his ACL. This man played today like if the rent was due. So if he is able, and he had his a lot later in the season. So if he's able to come back like that, I'm scared to see what Aaron Rodgers is gonna come out.
It's sports medicine. Like, the fact that Aaron Rodgers was able to stand a couple weeks later after the surgery last year and throw practice balls, like, that would have happened 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So sports medicine has progressed. I think Aaron Rodgers is as quirky as he acts like. I think he does care about his body, and I think he's gonna be ready to play. He's probably the most gifted quarterback we've seen in our lifetime until Patrick Mahomes, came in the league. And so I'm excited to see how the Jets going to look, because I'm looking forward to them matching up with your team, the Dolphins and the Bills. That's going to be a fun division to watch as well this season, along with the AFC North. The Texans, Colts, I'm just saying, when y'all see their next game, circle that game, watch when these two teams play, and I'm just hoping they play in the playoffs. I would love to see like a hat trick with these teams, man.
Yeah, that would be
that's
crazy.
A fun game. That was a fun game to watch. But let's move on here. Again, I'm just highlighting a few games. I'm not highlighting every team. So if your team, you're like, oh, my team ain't highlighted, because I really didn't care that much about your game. That's why I'm not going to highlight it. Play in the more notable games, and I'll highlight you, okay?
Go watch Red Zone if you want that, all right?
Or if you're my favorite team, like the Bears, I'm going to highlight you. You got my Bears. Caleb Williams, the debut game.
Oh, I have a good topic for him.
At home, we're at home, inviting the Titans in. Will Levis, who has an arm. He has an arm. He has a couple weapons out there as well, too. And a new backfield. Tony Pollard and the crew came over there to the Titans. Pollard from the Cowboys came over there. Titans has a stout defense as well. Caleb Williams learned definitely pro is not like college, and he didn't get enough preseason reps, I don't think, as well as I've been following them. So this was kind of a preseason game, I feel, for him as well. But numbers 14 to 29 wasn't that efficient, under 100 yards, but he didn't turn the ball over. And the Bears defense and special teams scored 2 touchdowns today. Multiple turnovers that they gobbled up as well. This is the Bears formula, y'all. If people don't realize, again, me as a resident Chicago Bears fan, the formula for the Bears for my whole lifetime was manage the game, let the defense eat. That's what Jim McMahon did in 85. That's what Rex Grossman did in 2007, though we lost to Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl.
I remember
That's
that Super Bowl.
what Caleb Williams is doing right here.
Yep.
Just manage the game. Yeah, you're not going to hit all the shots. But what's scary, and I'm going to get your thoughts, Carlos, what's scary is that when Caleb Williams gets comfortable with Keenan Allen, like for real,
that's what it
DJ
is.
Moore, Roma Dunze from Washington, a rookie, Cole Kmet, tight end. We got Gerald Everett from Chargers as well. We got DeAndre Swift. He didn't even get enough work today. Yeah. And we still got the win off of the defense.
Yeah.
Hey, don't sleep. What's your thoughts on this game, Carlos?
So to start off, I mean, really, the rust, as we've been saying for all the teams today, but we didn't get that Williams out there, running around getting comfortable.
He wasn't dealing.
You guys needed to get through this game. Now he has this game under his belt. It's gonna be scary time for the Bears. And listen, we said it last week. We said it that one of the coolest things about this team with the Bears is that not only you got the number 1 pick, you got the number 1 quarterback, the QB1, you got some assets around him, but your defense stayed intact and got better. So like that is what's it's exciting to see, because they have they're still my dark horse. I really do think the Bears.
Bro,
yeah.
Again, this is the formula. This is what I'm saying. It's like, I know people I'm gonna break some brains out here when I say this, right? Like people thought Caleb Williams he'd come in the league, like, oh, he's next Patrick Mahomes, right? What y'all don't realize, like y'all thinking of Patrick Mahomes like his first couple seasons.
Yeah.
Caleb's coming in playing like Patrick Mahomes from the last 2 seasons.
Yes.
Game managing. Don't turn the ball over. Pick your spots. Oh, I gotta take a sack or two. I ain't gonna make the bad throw. This kid is already thinking like that, and that's scary. That's scary.
What's even better? So it's his movement with the ball in his hand. So when he needs to break out and run, it's a lot of people compare him, like you're saying to Aaron Rodgers, to the Mahomes.
Yeah.
I actually see the elements of like, well, when he runs with the ball, he can be a potential. He could run the ball as good as a Lamar Jackson if he wanted to. But the thing is, he has that accuracy when he's throwing the ball that we're always saying that Lamar doesn't have. Yeah. So
I'm gonna throw a curveball with this. What I think, because like I said, I know Caleb Williams. First off, he's a huge fan of Aaron Rodgers, right? Which is kind of sacrilegious as a Bears fan, right? You can't hire you a fan of
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers. But that's all good. It's all good, Caleb. We love you, bro. But today, watching this game, I saw a little like Steve McNair.
Ooh, okay.
I saw a little Steve McNair. We throwing back to Steve McNair.
Ooh, that gave me chills, bro. Wait, hold on. I wasn't ready for that.
You have to.
Yes.
And you know what I'm saying? Maybe you got to eat it, but you're going to make that throw. This is what I saw. This is literally what I saw today. I didn't see Aaron Rodgers. I didn't see Matt Stafford, which is his favorite quarterbacks. That's and I love that Caleb Williams, like he studies those guys. That's actually pretty cool. Like that's like they got crazy arms. But I saw a little Steve McNair today. I was like, okay, do what needs to be done. Rely on the defense and special teams. And just mess up. Just don't. And that's all we asked of Justin Fields. Like, I mean, I know a lot of people say, oh, Bears fans threw away Justin Fields. No, it's like Justin, like all you have to realize, like, just don't mess up. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't be the reason why we lose, bro.
Well, one thing that's cool about Williams is that the players that he says he likes and he studies are players that he's not trying to be like, but he's learning from them. He's adding what they do to his game. So he could be like the player you said, or he could be a player like a Lamar Jackson who can run with the ball and stuff. But now you're studying other quarterbacks, and not only are you fans of these quarterbacks, but you're trying to implement what they do into your game, and it's showing because he's putting the time in, he's putting the work in. And listen, I said it from the beginning of the season. The Bears are that fun team for me to watch. Like,
it's gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun to watch this team. And you know, if people actually watch the game or the tape, you know, the Bears receivers had a few drops. Even the great Keenan Allen had a touchdown drop. It was right in his hands.
Yeah,
and he dropped it. So it's like everyone got to get past that nerve. This was a very important game. The Bears had to win this game.
Yes,
this was a must win. So when they fell down 17-0, folks, and they scored 24 straight. Okay, they had to win this game at home, open up this new era. And Caleb Williams showed I don't have to force it. It's okay. Like I don't gotta be top in yards. And I loved his reaction on the sideline. He showed he's a great leader already.
Yep.
This is a kid. This is a 22, 23-year-old. He's coming up there like, hey, I'm just going to do what needs to be done. I'm going to rely on this nasty defense. Jalen Johnson, the star cornerback, got an interception today. Special teams got a touchdown. Defense got a pick 6 for a touchdown as well. They're on my fantasy team. That's why I know all this stuff, folks. I'm going to win my matchup against Money Train James because of the Bears defense and special teams. But it's like that's the formula. Just let the defense do their thing. Just don't mess up. And week 2, their reward for this, they play the Texans. Okay. Week 2, the Bears do. DJ Stroud versus Caleb Williams.
That's a
woo.
Yeah,
prime
that's
time.
A test. That's a test.
Prime time right there. I can't wait.
But to your point with that, with Williams, and people are gonna understand why in a moment why I keep comparing these two. Don't play out of your element. Lamar was trying to do too much in that game against the Chiefs. He was trying to out-throw them. That's not his game. Caleb Williams didn't try to change his game. He stayed in the motion. He believed the plan. He bought in, and he kept his players around him leveled and told them, look, we just got to keep on chipping away. We keep on chipping away. We scored 24 points straight to win the freaking game. And that is like that yin and yang that I'm starting to see. And Williams is going to have a great career, man. Williams is going to have a great career.
If he stays this patient and just trust the process, basically, trust that his defense is going to, if you need to get digged out of a hole, the defense will do it for you. Yep. Just don't throw more dirt on us, right? That's all Caleb Williams got to do. And if you're special on top of that, that's like a bonus on this team. This what Patrick Mahomes didn't have. He didn't have a top 3 defense when he came in the league. Caleb Williams does, right? So that's the difference.
Did Mahomes have a set up offense around him when he first came into the league?
Well, he came into weapons with Kelsey and Tyreek Hill. So you got Andy Reid. He had the offense. The defense. That's why Brady was able to beat Mahomes early, because Chiefs didn't have the defense.
Right.
Now he has a respectable defense, like either average or better, above average. You got an all-pro. You got the best interior lineman now since Aaron Donald is retired. You got Chris Jones on the Chiefs. So, the Chiefs have a complete team right now. Pacheco, he's a nasty running back, right? So, Rashee Rice, I was surprised that he was as good as he is. I was like, what is he?
Yeah, because he always flies under the radar, and like I don't know. I guess Brazil brought the best out of him.
He's like, I'm your number one guy as far as wide receiver. Still got Kelsey, now Xavier Worthy, crazy speed, is like that home run threat. And Chiefs is scary, but it's like with Caleb Williams, you got the same amount of weapons, but you have a better defense actually than the Chiefs right now, which is kind of crazy. It's kind of scary.
It's exciting.
Man, I can't wait to see what they do next, man. Honorable mention, because I'm gonna go to one more team, and then we're gonna kind of get to our other topics to kind of get to the back end of this. But the Vikings, I don't have their information, but very impressive, since they're in the NFC North with the Bears here. Very impressive run by Sam Darnold. I have the stats. I just don't have the everything else on top of that. But let me put it back up. 19 to 24, 208, very game manager type, 2 touchdowns. Aaron Jones from the Packers comes over, gets nearly 100 yards, a touchdown. And we got Justin Jefferson. JJ McCarthy, the rookie drafted from the Michigan Wolverines, won the national championship, got drafted in the first round to the Vikings. People thought, they're gonna groom him. He got hurt in the preseason, but maybe the plan the whole time was let's let Sam Darnold cook this season. McCarthy, you sit back and learn, because that's what's happening now. Darnold is making all the plays the Vikings want to make. And they come out. Yes, it's the Giants. Yes, I know Giants suck, but
don't let Jules hear you.
The homie Jules be mad about that, but you already know. But with the Vikings though, it's about you're still going against pros, right? I can't just say like everybody just sucks and stuff like that. You're still going against pro men with families, and so it's like. The Vikings came out there and did their thing. I don't have their final score, but they won, folks.
By a lot.
So just honorable mention to the Vikings. They got that win. So it's all good.
Speaking of them, but real quick, it's like they like the Jeffersons, like that whole squad. They just seem comfortable with Darnold out there, and that was crazy to see. Like you're expecting everyone's trying to shift over to this new quarterback, but Darnold went in there and it just fit like a glove. And it was crazy to see, man. It was a massacre.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. So the NFC North is very interesting. Only the Packers lost a division. So you got the Vikings, Lions tonight, and the Bears earlier today. At the top, gonna be a fun division to watch, man. I mean, the Vikings got defense too. There ain't no punks. There ain't no punks over there. So they we'll see. We'll definitely see. The final NFL game we're gonna highlight real quick here. Is the same old Cowboys. I got a new series dropping on the SYL ABDUL Sports channel. I'll make sure I have all the links. I can get Carlos' links, get my links. Over on Night Views, this is a collective effort of me and C-Los.
Yes, sir.
But we both have our own platforms as well. We kind of do our own style, over there. And I got a pretty cool series about I'm going to be chronicling the Cowboys season. And hey, it starts off with a happy story. Week 1 against the lowly Browns. Got a lot to talk about with the Browns, I tell you. But
listen, man.
Props now. First off, this is Mike Zimmer, the defensive coordinator, who's very happy seeing the Cowboys defense today. So shout out to Zimmer. He used to coach the Vikings, I believe, as well, too. Dak Prescott, the $60 million man per year. 19 to 32, 179, touchdown, no turnovers. That I'm starting to see a trend with these quarterbacks, Carlos, that you don't gotta get 300 yards a game. Not Tua. I can't say it to you. You're a Dolphins fan. Tua's gonna give you 300. You got Tyreek Hill. He's gonna give you. You're gonna get 300 yards a game, right? But everyone else, like just play a workman's type game. Don't turn the ball over. That's what Dak does every year to the playoffs. And he did his thing. But the story ain't the Cowboys in this game. Cowboys did what I thought they would do. CeeDee Lamb got paid $34 million man per year, receiver. Did his thing. Ezekiel Elliott got a touchdown. His return to Dallas. Right?
Listen, Ezekiel surprised me today. He looked like old school Ezekiel.
It's good to see. They use him in spurts, right? So the Cowboys are what I thought they were. Can't wait till they play the Eagles. Let's see, right? That division is great. NFC East when they play. That's the story. Cowboys. I'm gonna say right now, Carlos, I'm gonna get your thoughts. I am done with the Deshaun Watson experiment.
Oh, now? Because I've been done, bro. I've been sold.
I was giving this brother a chance, man. I was giving him a chance after he was like, he's getting too handsy out there. I said, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you Deshaun Watson, bro. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing out here? You ain't got to do that. But then he did what he had to do. Then he got his contract, guaranteed, I think, $130 million. I don't know. But he got his money up front. And he played like crap ever since then.
Who's his agent? Because
I said, give him time. Like that first season, he came back. Mentally he's not there. I was like, this season you got a great defense. You got Myles Garrett, my favorite defensive player.
Yeah,
just show up, Deshaun. Just be 75% what you were with the Texans. The Browns are a playoff team. This game, bro, I'm off it. I'm done. I'm done with the Deshaun Watson experiment. Carlos, what's your thoughts on this game?
So first of all, I want to give a shout out to Ford. Ford balled out today with the chances he did get when he got the ball. This team, to me, is gonna be like when Jameis Winston took over the Steelers and they actually had a nice little run. I think this team is built for a Jameis Winston type of quarterback, and I feel like next week we may see him midway through the game.
If people don't realize, Jameis Winston signed on as a backup for the Cleveland Browns. So if Deshaun Watson can't go, or if he's
sucking,
Jameis Winston come in, he will throw it. Like he ain't gonna hold the ball like Deshaun's doing out there.
Yeah,
that's my problem. You get 45 attempts, you didn't even get over 200 yards.
Ridiculous.
Like, bro, I understand. Like I said, I'm cool with Dak. I'm cool with what Dak did.
Yeah.
I had no problem. He didn't turn the ball over. 24 of 45, 169 for Deshaun Watson. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. I think he had a fumble as well. Browns, y'all messed up. This is a terrible deal.
Like with that, a good comparison. So with Tua, you mentioned 300 yards. How many attempts was that 300 yards?
Oh, see, I got the card up here. Let's see. Less than Watson.
Are you kidding me? Watson, you are straight doo-doo, bro. Like, Like
I'm just
that's
saying, bro.
doo-doo.
I'm just saying, bro.
169 yards up to 45. Come on, man. Come
And
on,
he looked bad. Like again, I gave him all the excuses last season because I don't like seeing people get canceled and stuff like that. I don't like seeing that. And so I was like, hey, you know, he got punished. He still can work, you know, his profession. Like, let's not like, you know what I'm saying, put him out to pasture out here.
Yeah.
But if you ain't showing up, bro, like I know there's no more excuses. There's no more excuses. Like, are the Cowboys that much better? This Browns team was a playoff team last year with Flacco.
Yeah, that you see, that to me is even that's come on, man.
Yeah. This don't look like a playoff team, Carlos.
Come on, man. Come on. And they don't even have Chubb yet. So imagine adding Chubb. Like, come on, man. Watson was supposed to be that guy.
Yep.
Watson was supposed to be the one he's gonna fit in and he's gonna change the dynamic of the Browns.
Watson's supposed to be like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson right now. That's what he's not even Justin Fields right now.
No.
I would take Justin Fields over this dude right now because at least Fields ain't turning the ball over.
I have a theory. Man. I have a theory for you, Sil, and I'm throwing this out there.
What we got?
We're talking about Russell Wilson and how he's not going to fit in Steelers anymore. What if he finds a new home at the Cleveland Browns?
Cleveland Browns. Russell, the only problem with Russell Wilson, he holds the ball just like Deshaun Watson does. That's what Russell did in the preseason. It's like Deshaun Watson, he's indecisive. And again, that was an excuse last year. You're away from the game, your timing, whatever. Yeah. You got a full off season. You're supposed to be healthy. Now, if you're not healthy, let's get Jameis Winston. I'm ready for a Jameis Winston. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, bro. I'm done with excuses for Deshaun Watson. I was there. I was trying to be like, hey, let's see what happens. I saw what happened. Now let's not. I'm done with this roller coaster because y'all make the Cowboys look better than they're supposed to look. I'm just saying that's your fault, Deshaun.
You really make them look like America's like we're trying to change the narrative. This isn't America's team. Dallas is not America's team. Brown, you just changed the whole script. You put them back on top. Why?
Leave it up to Deshaun. Yeah, the Cowboys like, yo, I saw how the Eagles looked, and you got the Cowboys looking like they're on that same level.
Yeah.
Now we gotta see them play. And hey, I mean, I'll give the Cowboys a chance. If they rough up the Eagles like this, then hey, props to you. But I think it's more the Browns were that bad. To be quite honest. So those are our recap of as far as this week of the games. Again, it was really cool. Thursday night, Friday night. We got the Sunday. We're gonna talk about Monday in just a moment. But we have a new series we're trying to work in here with Night Views with ABDUL and Silos. We got Silos cases. I'm gonna have some theme music eventually, okay? But walk us through this. This your show right now.
So pretty much my new stick here. What I'm trying to do is these are Silos code cases. So each week I'm going to be picking 3 main cases I'm going to be doing investigating, reporting on, and seeing how they last throughout the seasons. So I picked 3 topics of these games. Obviously, this is the Ravens. I just had to talk about them because that loss, not only did it hurt my fantasy team, but it was just hard to watch the greatness of Derrick Henry not being utilized. So the first question of the day, if you want to say the first case file that I have for this week is who's to blame for the Ravens loss? Are we leaning towards, as you see, I have a picture up there of Lamar Jackson, or is it coaching?
Coach Harbaugh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna if this is an open question, I'm gonna blame more so if we're saying like, you know, it's like if it's like a pie chart, right? A little pie and charts.
Yes.
And if the bigger piece, who's it gonna go to between the two? I'm going to coaching because early on in that game, they were utilizing King Henry, Derrick Henry, like they're supposed to, and then they went away from there. You wasn't down multiple touchdowns. So why are we not using Derrick Henry? Did he not know the playbook? That's on coaching. You should have had him ready if he didn't know the playbook. So Lamar, only because I absolved the Zay Flowers miss. All right. Now, if that was a real miss, then I'm just going to believe what Lamar said, what Marcellus Wiley, former great NFL player, he investigated this. Check out his podcast. Lamar didn't miss Zay Flowers right there. Because if that was a miss, Carlos, I was all on Lamar. I'm all on Lamar. I'm like, oh, you terrible, bro.
So me, I'm playing devil's advocate here. I agree. Coaching, when you get a player like Derrick Henry, you have to learn how to play with him or coach him essentially. The only reason why I'm leaning more towards Lamar here is because the reason why the Ravens were able to get back and put in that position to win the game at the end was because Harbaugh, while learning how to have a player like Henry on his team, started, so the first half he had about 8 attempts Henry did he got that touchdown and so on and so forth. They were utilizing him. Second half, he only got about 4 to 5 attempts. Throughout those 4 or 5 attempts, that is when they were able to score because of the movement of Henry. Now, if he missed that Zay Flowers pass, or if he didn't, there was multiple times where at a third down play to get the third down, so to get it to that first down, there was a bunch of plays where he either overthrew his receivers, whether it was likely, whether Flowers or it was an overall placement.
This was real quick because I know you got to have steam here. I didn't like, again, maybe this is coaching as well, but I didn't like those multiple 1-yard pass attempts. Like that was like a very weird strategy. And again, I don't know if that was more Lamar coaching though, right there as well too. But it's up to Lamar. He has to be at a point now, 2-time MVP, reigning MVP, where if I need to change the play, like maybe this ain't the play to make, and let me, you should be at this level at this point, right? Because, and I want you to continue with your case files, but like right now, between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, like we supposed to be taking Lamar Jackson before Josh Allen, right now, in my opinion.
Exactly my point. And
you shouldn't feel that Josh Allen's equal to him right now.
Exactly my point. Yeah. And here's the thing. So another thing about the coaching standpoint, Harbaugh is the type of coach, he's going to tell you, all right, we're running this play, but they have this relationship they've been playing together for years now, that when Lamar is on the field and he's on the field, Harbaugh is not on the field. As a coach myself, I can give you the plan of what to do, but you're on the actual field. You're on the actual court. As the quote unquote, the captain of the team, the one who leads your guys to the end zone to get the points. When you see something, you need to act on it and change. So that to me is why the fault to Lamar to me goes, because when you already have a guy, Henry, utilizing there was multiple plays where you have the run set up and you see Lamar make that decision of, okay, I'm changing the play here. I'm going to fake the handoff and then I'm going to run it myself. Whereas kind of going back to what we said last week is, who do you want running the ball? As great as Lamar is running the ball, you have King Henry there. Why are we not giving him the ball 24/7? Why isn't that your new?
I want Lamar to run less.
Exactly my point.
Yeah.
So that's something that we're gonna see how it pans out throughout the season. Hopefully they get it together and we get to figure it out. But that's one of the main case files of this week that I'm going to be, overall arcing. Towards the end of the season, we're gonna get all these different weeks and we're gonna see which one panned out, which one didn't. So let's move on to number 2. Yeah. So number 2, with the explosion of Barkley, right? I had to ask this question: who will be more efficient? Who will be the more efficient running back this season? Would it be a Derrick Henry on a team like the Ravens, as we saw, or would it be Christian McCaffrey, or will Barkley be the one to break out and have that career season this year? What do you think, Sil?
Well, hey, judging by because again, just going off what we see so far, right? I mean, Derrick Henry, first game, he only had 13 attempts, 3.5 average. So we rounded up to 46 yards, 1 touchdown. That's what I expect of Derrick Henry, but give him like the ball more, right? Like do this more. But Saquon Barkley got 24 carries for 109 yards on the ground, 4.5 average, 2 touchdowns, broke a 35-yard. Plus, in the air, got 2 targets, 2 receptions for 1 touchdown as well. Right now, Saquon Barkley, he's been my favorite running back. Just if I'm talking about just overall up to this point, he was on the crappy team. With the Giants. Now with the Eagles, and now there's so many weapons. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, like Goddard, he can shine now. Now we'll see what C-Mac does tomorrow.
Right.
But if I'm gonna vote right now, I mean, as much as I like C-Mac, I don't know what's the last game he had 2 touchdowns on the ground and 1 in the air. I don't know. I saw Saquon just do it. So I'm going with Saquon as the most efficient running back this season because he's surrounded by other weapons like C-Mac is now as well. Let's see what you can do, right?
Right.
My vote's Saquon, man.
And out of the 3, who would you say will be the decline? Me, I honestly think it's going to take a lot for Derrick Henry, and I think Derrick Henry will be the one to decline this season. Out of these 3 that we're speaking of.
Yeah, I mean, out of the 3, I gotta say, because I think C-Mac is still in his prime.
Right.
He's got to be healthy. Saquon, he's feeling it right now. Like Saquon, he's going to have his best season of his career. So yeah, Derrick Henry, only because I wouldn't say just straight up a decline. It's just that they're not going to use him enough. That's what I'm seeing with the coaching is doing. Right. So his numbers, he probably won't get 1,000 yards this season. You know what I'm saying?
That's tragic.
But can he just be used like effectively? Hopefully. But those other 2 guys are going to have better seasons for sure.
Right. All right. So this one, I know you're going to like this last question. So this is the 3rd case file of the week. This is something that we're going to be looking over the whole season. Will Caleb have a more effective career compared to Lamar as a QB? What are your thoughts on this, though?
Effective career. So this was, this may sound a little homery, but just side note, I want to kind of preface this so people understand where I'm very unique in this situation. Okay. Now, first off, yes, I am a Chicago Bears fan. I was born on the southeast side of Chicago, so always we down for the Bears for life. I haven't seen them win anything my whole lifetime. I keep hearing about 85, so I'm just hoping I get those days in my lifetime. But Lamar Jackson, people forget he went to college in Louisville, Kentucky here.
Yep.
So he's a Louisville boy to us out here. So we pulling for Lamar. Every time I see him line up, I'm pulling for him because he's from home here right now, my current home. So it's different styles. Lamar Jackson is more towards the Michael Vick style, which is classic on its own, Cam Newton type style. You know what I mean? Like run. Josh Allen's in that vein as well. Caleb Williams is trying not to run. I don't know if people saw his game today. It came down to where I got to get this first down. Caleb will try to wait in the pocket as much as possible or roll out and stay in a throwing lane and run the absolutely last option for Caleb Williams, which is more of like an Aaron Rodgers type of style. So long story short here, as an overall QB, I think Caleb Williams will be more in the vein of Aaron Rodgers. We got 4 MVPs. I know Lamar got 2.
Yep.
4 is more than 2. So we're gonna go with Caleb Williams because I think he's not gonna take as many hits like RG3 took, like Cam Newton took.
Yep.
Caleb Williams is not gonna go that route. Russell Wilson tried to transition to that, but he just got married or something. I don't know what happened, but yeah, I'm gonna vote Caleb Williams gonna have a more effective career overall because I think he's gonna have a longer career than Lamar Jackson.
Right. Yeah. And I am, I'm neither biased on either side. I'm a Dolphins fan, but as a fan of QBs, I'm leaning towards Caleb as well because and to what you mentioned, it's the whole like knowing when to use the run and when not using it. For Lamar, it's more of a default, more of like a turn the panic button on. I have nothing to do right now. Let's run. Whereas Caleb is like turn the panic button on. Who's open? Do I need to run? It's more decision than it is a let's just do it. So that's why I'm leaning more towards that Caleb, of the whole career wise. And he's set up nice pretty much right now.
Caleb, well, yeah, he has a complete team around him, which again, this is probably the greatest situation a rookie quarterback has ever had.
Right.
You got a running game, you got a full receiving core, you got a top 5 defense. That's not fair, right?
Right.
So with Lamar, like I said, it's just that he doesn't want to to run, that's what makes him very unique. He could run all he wants. He's choosing I'd rather throw it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's gonna pay off for him overall. So pretty cool cold cases with CeeLos for sure. Again, check out his platform. I gotta make sure this is all linked up over on the Night Views channel for sure. Because you do your reactions and stuff during the week, like when you get a chance, right?
Yeah, man, that's been fun, man. All the whether it's WNBA, college football. Shout out to my ranked number 10 Hurricanes officially this week today. And basketball, football, all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it, man.
Definitely check out our individual styles for sure. We got our platforms, and then come here during the football season, Sundays and Tuesdays for Night Views. We're just getting kind of warmed up. I know we kind of had a heavy NFL, front end.
Yeah.
But before we transition, though, earlier iteration of it was called SYL Nation Sports at that time. We was doing like pre-game shows and was picking all the games. I was like, it's too much work. I don't want to think that much, right? But this is a Sunday show. And NFL fans know there's a Monday game. So we do kind of, got to talk the Monday game as well. Jets, Niners, Monday night. And this is going to be our official picks. So just so people realize, I'm going to keep track of this, Carlos. so every week with our Sunday show, we're picking the Monday game. Our Tuesday show, we're picking the Thursday game, right?
Okay.
And I already know what you picked Thursday, but I ain't gonna talk about it. But here, opening week, hey, like I said, it's wild cards all the time. Again, Jets, Niners, Aaron Rodgers is back. Niners are reloaded. Ayuk got his money, $30 million man per year. So he should be happy. So I'm expecting some work because he's on my fantasy team, right? So, but
you're welcome again. That's
the theme here. Right? But first off, just your thoughts with this game, and we'll go to the picks. But Aaron Rodgers finally, hopefully he can finish a game. Hopefully he finish one game with the Jets because I was so hyped last year. It was so deflating. Seeing him go out in 4 plays. And then the Niners are the team they've been, I think, for the last 3 or 4 years. Super Bowl winning. Just the matchup overall. You think the Jets got enough, I guess, for this matchup? I guess is the first question.
So this is interesting. And when Rodgers went down last year, that was on 9/11, right? That wasn't.
Yeah, that was literally on 9/11. He carried the flag up there.
Because we're on 9/11 week, we are on 9/11 week. That is
Yeah,
this
yeah.
week. So, but
It's not on 9/11.
yeah, it's
good.
not. So I and this is crazy coming from a Dolphins fan. I really think Aaron Rodgers is going to make everybody turn their heads tomorrow night. I think he's going to come out.
This is in San Francisco, just to let you know. Just to throw it out there.
Yeah. I think I just because of the offseason of how everything played out with the 49ers, I felt like that could have been very what's the word I'm looking for? Unavoided, or avoided. I guess avoided. It didn't have to get to that extreme with Ayuk and all that. And to be honest, Ayuk, you haven't won anything for you to be demanding this money like that. So it's kind of like that dirty feeling between that team. I could be wrong. They could come out tomorrow and ball out, but
I hope he does.
The thing that I'm latching on to what you said last week is that we haven't heard really anything about the Jets. They've been quiet, and that to me, a quiet Aaron Rodgers, as you know, your team has played against Aaron Rodgers for so long. A quiet Aaron Rodgers is scary, and I think I think he's gonna ball out tomorrow. I think it's gonna be a fun game. I hope the trend continues from what we've had, and we have another great game.
Oh yeah, first off, I think guaranteed this is gonna be a great game, right? Like this is a great capper off, for the opening week with the it's marquee matchup here. Now, for you betting people out there, FanDuel has the line 49ers favorite minus 3.5, which that's too close. Anything under 4, it's a pick 'em, right? This is a pick 'em type game, right? And so I'm really tempted to take the points with the Jets, meaning as long as they don't lose by more than 4 or more than 3, I should say, you will win that bet, basically, right? Yeah. So I'm tempted to lean towards putting it on the Jets because I think it's going to be that close of a game. And if they do lose, it'll be less, it'll be like by a field goal. Which again, you will win. You will win that line if you bet on them. So when it's that close like that, I gotta I'm leaning towards the Jets for this game. Actually,
it's crazy you say it though because a lot of odds this weekend were that either 3.0 or 3.5.
Yeah.
Lineup, and
again, that's a pick 'em.
Yeah. That's pretty much how the weekend was to this week.
And just to put it in preface for people, that was, I think, the Cowboys line. I think the Cowboys were actually, they were 2.5. They got on it was at 3. Then they were at plus 2.5. The Cowboys were before the Browns kickoff. And you see what the Cowboys did. I mean, that's not saying that's indicative to what happened. But all I'm just saying is that it's that close. It's not like the Niners are not that clear-cut favorite for this game. So with the Jets coming in with week 1, unfamiliarity with just, both teams. Breece Hall, great running back who catches the ball. That's that LT style. That's what Breece Hall does. Garrett was a Wilson. He's a true number 1 receiver. I don't know. There are other guys like back there with the Jets, but you have Aaron Rodgers. I think and Aaron Rodgers is a California. Right? No, I didn't, but Aaron Rodgers is a California guy too. He's in California Monday night. He's gonna pull on the show. I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna pull on the show. He wanted the Niners to draft him back in the day before the Packers, but
they take a hit of that ayahuasca before playing.
They drafted Alex Smith over Aaron Rodgers back in the day. Just go figure. But
crazy.
I'm going with the Jets for this game. That's my official pick for this game. I think just again, week 1, anything can happen. And prime time, you kind of go with who's the better quarterback. I mean, and maybe this is an uncomfortable conversation for some people, but Brock Purdy, he's a great game manager. Like, can he bring me back? Like, I'm gonna point to the Super Bowl because I rewatched the Super Bowl last week.
Okay.
49ers Chiefs. And it got to overtime. The 49ers had the ball first. Now, again, and with the new rules, both teams get a chance, right? But they got to the red zone, and I don't know if it was coaching or Purdy, but it was third down from the 10-yard line, and it was an all-out blitz by the Chiefs. And Purdy just kind of closed his eyes and threw it up, threw it out of bounds. And I was like, that's the difference, because I don't see Patrick Mahomes doing that.
Yeah.
And I don't see Aaron Rodgers doing that. If this game is as close as we think it is, I'm going to who's the better quarterback when under pressure?
Yep.
Now, just tonight, we just had the Rams and Lions game. Under pressure, yes, Stafford got you to overtime, but then the better team probably won in overtime. You know, the Lions went and took care of business, right? But if you put Stafford in that pressure situation, Stafford will make that throw. Yeah. Patrick Mahomes make that throw. It's like, who am I comfortable with? I don't know if Lamar will make the throw. Would Josh Allen make the throw? I don't know. Aaron Rodgers will make the throw.
Lamar
Purdy,
probably run.
I don't know. Purdy, I don't know. And the jury's still out on Tua, right? Your boy Tua.
Yeah. Well, you see, so
I haven't seen him in that situation yet.
And to your point, I feel like that's what this season is about for Purdy and Tua, is to prove these moments. This is the season for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the narrative.
We already made our mind up about Dak. It's like, Dak, you just better be up by double digits, because I know you're not ready for the moment, right? But it's still, you still got to write the story. Purdy, he may come in this game and make the throw, and then it's like, okay,
right,
shut me up, right? But right now, I'm saying the Jets. Jets is my pick. Aaron Rodgers for Monday night.
I'm with you on that, man. Aaron, as not only did he have a great an all season to heal, but it's like I keep going back to what you said. We have not heard anything about the Jets, completely nothing, and that to me is scary. I think they're gonna go all the way tomorrow. So
for sure, definitely. So we'll see what happens with that. Let's quickly transition here. From NFL, we're going to college real quick here.
Oh, yeah.
Not this guy. He's not college. Let's go to college here.
I was trying to take over the street.
Heisman odds. Going after week 2. Very outside of the NFL games, there's been a multitude of college football games. And just to quickly highlight the Heisman favorites, according to the Sports Kita and its other outlets as well, talking about this. Quinn Ewers, quarterback of the Texas Longhorns. They had a marquee win this past weekend, and that's what the Heisman is all about. And stats for sure. Stats is a big thing. You know, wins, obviously. You got wins first and probably stats, but then you need like marquee wins too.
Right.
And your division plays a part too as well. So, well, with the Texas Longhorn, I think they're Big 12, I believe. They beat the defending champs, Michigan Wolverines. Now we know they're not. This ain't your Harbaugh's Michigan Wolverines, right? But marquee win, as it is. He is, according to just different odds makers there, he is favored. Let's see, and I got it down here. He is the odds-on favorite right now to be the Heisman Trophy winner. But then after him, you got your boy from Miami,
yes, sir,
Cam Ward, who was my pick. Cam Ward's my pick. Georgia, Carson Beck, and then Jackson Dart from Ole Miss, who I need to catch their game. I haven't caught none of their games. Ole Miss is like whooping up people, so I'm going to watch them this week coming up. But just to throw to you, Texas, Quinn Ewers, if you call any of the Michigan game, he was out there dealing. I'm going to give him credit. On this.
Right. Yeah, most definitely. He was balling out there. With that, like Cam Ward, obviously, I agree. Like he's that Heisman guy, but it is about who you matched up with and who you know go up against. So like the Texas quarterback, I totally forgot his name. But he's he was really balling out there yesterday. So I can see why he's that number one. And just same as you, like the Jackson Dart, I haven't seen any of the games, and usually
Yeah.
it's because their games are blowouts, and I'm like, there's other games.
Yeah.
Let me go watch something else. But yeah, no, I guess I'm gonna have to check him out now because that's
Yeah.
just plus 950 is crazy.
I scout these teams like I said. I mean, Ole Miss. I believe they're in the SEC. I'm sure someone in the chat be like, "You should know this." Like, I don't watch Ole Miss. I don't. I believe Eli Manning went there, so shout out to Ole Miss. But they play LSU later. They play Oklahoma. Okay, yeah,
okay, that's
they're in the SEC because they play Georgia as well. So we're gonna find out a lot about Ole Miss and Jackson Hart real soon here. But right now, if you're talking about marquee wins, again, it's only week 2, right? So we're very early on this. I'll definitely give a nod to Ewers because Texas went into the big house in Michigan, and took that win, right?
Yeah,
made throws, did his thing, right? We'll see because he still has to play Oklahoma, Georgia, and stuff later. But we'll see what happens with that. So I don't mind. This is just a pool of the favorites right now. I like this list. Because there's really no set who's ranked 1, 2, and 3 right now. It really isn't. I'll take Ewers. Cam Ward is my pick. If I'm going to pick someone, am I impressed with how they played early on, just how they look out there? Miami's in the ACC, so for Cam Ward to win this, he probably has to run the table.
Yeah, and like I would say the biggest team. I mean, obviously we beat the Gators, which is the Gators, but those like rivalry matchups, FSU, another one we have to beat them. But one team that Miami always struggles against is the Virginia Tech team, and if we can beat them, I feel like that set in stone will be good to go.
I think because definitely I think Miami they're gonna win the ACC. They're the best team. I've seen enough evidence, but they got to go out there and play. He's the best quarterback in that division. Just seeing how he plays. I've seen FSU. I've seen them fumble a couple games. We've seen enough. So
I just pulled up the schedule for them. So I would say right now on the schedule, the only ranked team that they have to play against is Louisville. So that'll be
probably like 20s. They're like in the 20s, right?
Yeah, 19. They just moved up.
Close enough.
Yeah. So, but so that'll be that one team that like they have to win that game.
So that's why I think they need to run the table. I mean, Cam Ward, he's the best quarterback in that division. Like ACC, he's the best quarterback. He's the best
100%.
100%. He's going to have the numbers. They got to run the table. He's going to make the college playoffs. So it's just a matter of they probably put him at number 4 or something because the SEC and Big Ten are loaded with teams. So for the regular season, run the table or at least have a better record because these other guys, Texas, again, I think that's Big 12. So you got Washington, you got Oklahoma, you got some challengers over there.
Yeah.
Carson Beck is with Georgia. That's probably the best team in the country in the SEC, and Ole Miss is in the SEC. So you're going to have probably both those teams probably going to have at least one loss. It's going to be rare seeing undefeated teams anymore because these teams are loaded. Even Georgia lost the game last year. They're the best team in the world for 3 years. They lost the game to Alabama, last year. So
that portal changed a lot of things, man. It's opened up the playing scale for all different teams.
So I think there's a case where Texas will probably lose a game because they got to play Oklahoma and Georgia back to back. in a month here. They're going to lose one of those games. And then Georgia may get thumped. They may get caught by Alabama or someone else, or Ole Miss. Ole Miss going to get beat by someone. So all these other teams are going to have at least one loss. Miami probably needs to go undefeated for Cam Ward to have a chance. Right. He's my favorite quarterback I've seen so far because I'm a sucker for off-platform throws and throwing on a run and things like that. And he's locked in.
The best thing he did was decide not to go into that because he was supposed to be in the NFL this year. He was going to go to the draft and all that. He decided, I'm going to take one more year. I'm going to work on my game, perfect my game. And
that was smart. Yeah.
You just see him out there. And sometimes the way he's running with the ball and he's throwing the ball, he's so like nonchalant and just like he's letting the game come to him. And you don't see that a lot, especially with college quarterbacks.
I think and it depends on when they do their evaluations and scouting. I mean, maybe, night views will kind of cover when they start, combine and stuff next spring, right? But this is kind of like Jaden Daniels. That's what I'm seeing with Cam Ward. Like, he's probably the best talent. I know Caleb Williams was the guy this year, but Jaden Daniels was like right there. Like, he's and he had a pretty good opening. I'm gonna do a rookie series on my SYL ABDUL Sports channel. We're gonna talk about the rookies this past week, and Bo Nix. Shout out to the rookies. Caleb Williams, obviously, as well. But Jaden Daniels, he didn't look bad. He didn't look bad. He's a talent out there, and I think Cam Ward is kind of in that mode, right? Where when you get close to the draft, you're like, oh, this is probably the most talented person in the draft.
And we know a couple teams who need a quarterback. So
just saying. Now Ewers made the throws. He's not like the biggest guy, so it's quarterback it's about size. Carson Beck is like your prototypical Tom Brady, Peyton Manning guy from Georgia. Now he's not the most accurate. I watched all of his throws up to this point, and he does miss, but but I mean he is 22, so he should be kind of figuring out his accuracy at this point, right? So we'll see if that's the line between him and a Cam Ward. Now again, the unknown is Jackson Dart. Maybe this guy is like Patrick Mahomes. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta watch their games, but right now, between all these, because Carson Beck, he's a solid. He's like JJ McCarthy, solid guy. Draft him in the top 10. Carson Beck. Ewers is kind of we'll see. Is he really as good as they're trying to push him out to be? If he beats Oklahoma and Georgia, then he's probably number one pick. Cam Ward is probably the most talented person until I watch Jackson Dart. Again, maybe he's a beast. I don't know. I'm gonna find out this Saturday when I watch his game. But if I'm gonna rank someone, I would say Cam Ward, Ewers because of the marquee win, Beck, and then Dart's unknown. If I'm gonna say Heisman.
Who's the quarterback that's like cosplaying as Mahomes pretty much? That he's like all over the internet right now. I guess he's like one of the top quarterbacks. I was looking at him earlier and I don't remember his name. I don't know if you
I forget. I heard someone just say this like last night too.
Yeah.
That someone Nebraska.
Nebraska. Yes, yeah. Right. Okay.
They whooped up Colorado Buffalo's Deion Sanders team. Shador, and like I said, Shador. I mean, the problem with when we talk about Heisman, yes, talent is one thing, but you got to have the wins and the stats as well. And just Colorado, they may not have enough wins because Travis Hunter is probably the best pure talent in the world right now.
It's crazy how good he is.
Like he is top 3. He's top 3.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like you're gonna get your quarterback 1 and 2. Like if we as things sits right now, Ewers and Cam Ward goes 1-2, then draft Travis Hunter. and
Right.
then you do the other quarterbacks. Like he's that good. Shador, he's not Cam Ward. I like Shador. I love what Coach Prime is doing. I love what they're doing with Colorado. It's a great story. I got my series on SYL ABDUL Sports as well about the Colorado Buffaloes against the world. I'm having a lot of fun. I got another episode coming up. We're going to talk about that loss to Nebraska and the Patrick Mahomes, the fake Patrick Mahomes. But Shador,
it's scary, man. Like he even does the same warm up and like it's nuts. It's nuts what he does.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Now I think in Nebraska they're gonna find that we're in the top 25. The defense look good. They got a running game. Now they got a quarterback.
Right.
But as far as Heisman talk, Shador is a pro style quarterback. He's totally a pro style quarterback. Get him in the right situation. But talent, just arm talent.
Yeah.
Cam Ward's the best arm talent in the world right now as far as college in the nation. I don't see no reason why you would draft Shador over Cam Ward in any situation.
I'm honestly, man, that just warms me up because you know how long.
No, real talk. I watch everyone now. Carlos, I watch everyone. So I'm not biased when I say this. I'm really like,
I'm biased.
The other way around.
I'm biased.
Like, I don't mind hurting people's feelings or like, oh no, your team sucks. Like, I don't mind saying that. Right, I watch all of Cam Ward's games up to this point, and I'm like, okay, as far as this season.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, and I'm like, no, he got it. That's the kid got it. Yeah.
You know how you talk about your Bears, and it's like it's been so long. Like we haven't had a quarter. I've been alive since 1995, and Hurricanes have not had a good quarterback, let alone a decent quarterback.
You just missed the Michael Irvin era and all that in the early 90s and late 80s.
I've heard legendary stories about it. My dad, he birthed me into the bleeding Hurricanes, but now I get to witness it. You
have that guy. And again, I mean, this outlet is backing that up. And Cam is only second to Ewers because Texas got the marquee. They're top 3 in the country, and they got a marquee win. Cam Ward, he won't have a chance to kind of jump up unless he goes undefeated. Like, really, that's really the only thing. If they get clipped by one of these teams, by your rivals or something, then that's going to hurt his chances. But he's still probably the first quarterback drafted, though. I think he's the best. He's the best, like, talent. Again, we'll see. Jackson Dart. They say he's a bad white boy. We'll see. When I watch him. Well, I haven't watched any of his snaps, but I saw Carson Beck. He feels like JJ McCarthy. He's going to follow your system. Ewers is kind of he's like a Bo Nix flying the seat of his pants right now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what Ewers kind of is to me. He makes the throws. He definitely makes the throws, but no, Cam Ward, he's like, he's Jaden Daniels. That's what I'm seeing when I watch this dude, man. Yeah. He's really good. Yeah. So good stuff with that. We'll see. We're gonna be following this Heisman
Heisman chase
situation thing because I always love kind of, like I said, just kind of I like to see the players for myself. You see what the highlights and stuff when people say, I want to watch the games and kind of see, what I'm saying, how good are they really, right? And I'm like, yeah. Cam Ward, I watched that crappy game they played. It was on ESPN 3 or something. I was like, no, I gotta see this guy play. And they destroyed this team. It's a sad team, but I was like, how does he look though, right? Like, how does he look in the pocket? That's
decision making, all that stuff. Yeah.
I'm sure all the NFL scouts, they're gonna be at every one of his games the rest of the season. Like that dude. Yeah. He's for real.
Heck yeah, he's man. It's nice. It's nice to see the talent, of college football, bro. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Real stuff. Final topic before we close this out for night views. Again, we're here Sundays during football season, Sundays. And our regular night is Tuesdays, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll try to wrap up Definitely during football season, we try to cover college, professional, and then we do a little basketball as well. It's gonna be really interesting when basketball season comes back around in the fall.
Man,
How the show evolves.
Yeah, that's
We
gonna
have fun
be.
covering the Olympics, men's basketball, and stuff like that. So we'll see. But hey, we got the ladies. We got Caitlin Clark. Our final topic here: Indiana Fever has clinched a playoff spot in the WNBA. Now, how big is this? Indiana Fever had the number 1 pick for 2 years in a row. That reminds me of like Cleveland Cavaliers before they drafted Kyrie Irving. Like that's what the Indiana Fever were before that point. Then LeBron came back, and then they won a championship eventually. But Caitlin Clark she's Kyrie and LeBron. She's everything to the WNBA, and we've been covering. I'm gonna pat ourselves on the back. We're one of the best podcasts covering.
Let's go. Let them know, so let them know.
We're the best out here. We're one of the best out here because we actually watch these games. We
reactions, all that good stuff.
You do your reactions. We love the women's game because they've taken that next step. You know what I mean? It just that is what it is. Caitlin Clark is like Steph Curry and like Magic Johnson right now. Like she leads the league in assists.
It's crazy.
And she'll shoot from the logo, and she's getting her teams involved.
Getting mad at her teammates. She's getting mad at her teammates.
Yeah,
making passes and stuff. It's crazy.
What's your thoughts with her game? We're going to see in the playoffs, so this is going to be like the biggest viewership ever for WNBA playoffs because she's in there in the playoffs. What do you think up to this point, and the fact that she turned around a franchise, in under a year?
So, as of right now, so I got the standings pulled up. So Indiana Fever is clinched at number 6 right now, and if that goes, like if that stays, they'll be going up against the Suns, which is the Taraji and Taraji lineup. Team, and me as a fan and as we covered the Olympics, the whole storyline. Taraji was part of the Olympic women's team and all that, and how they didn't want Caitlin Clark, they didn't want this, whatever it may be. I want to see them two go head and head. I think Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, if they play their cards right, I don't know what she has done with that team, but since the break, they have been just cohesive together. It's been scary to watch because at any given moment, Caitlin Clark doesn't have to be the top number 1 person to score on that team. She's definitely one who has to distribute and facilitate everything, but she doesn't need to be that because everyone else around. Yeah, she has help.
She's kind of made her team better. That's what
right.
That's the ultimate measure of a team player. This team again was last place.
Yeah,
they just added her. They just took her. Okay, put you on this team that was last place. Now they're number 6 in the league.
It's crazy. It's
so really Connecticut Sun. I've been watching these women. They've been playing. My current favorite team is the New York Liberty. Brianna Stewart. I know people talk a lot about Asia Wilson with the Las Vegas Aces. They are really good. Kelsey Plum. She's really good as well, just on and off the court. But Brianna Stewart may be the best player in the league. Brianna Stewart, she plays like Asia Wilson, probably not as many rebounds, but she's a big girl. And she shoots a 3 as well.
And distributes the ball. Yeah.
She's a scary talent. Then you got Sabrina Ioannuski, who shot for shot with Steph Curry on New York. So Liberty's probably the best team in the world right now, women's. That's my pick actually to win the championship. But Kinetic Sun, they're a couple of notches down, I would say, from them.
Yeah.
They have a couple Olympians was on that team, as you mentioned. So that would be a tough out for the Fever if it's a 3-6 matchup. with Connecticut. But the last time they matched up with the Fever, Caitlin Clark put it on them. Caitlin
Like
Clark beat
crazy.
him like last week.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was a close game. It was in Indiana, but so I'm just saying, I don't think she fears that team. I would not be surprised if we get like, some kind of Jordan playoff moment where, she hits a shot and kind of jumps up.
Listen.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
So I hope that happens. Because listen, y'all think Twitter's crazy now? You think the Caitlin Clark fandom is crazy now? If that happens,
if
I
she
might
gets
have
out
to
the
get
first
off
round, bro,
listen.
I may have to go back to Indiana to watch one of these games.
Yes, I agree.
If she gets out of this, I may actually try to make one of the first round games. That'll be a cool experience, for
man.
For the Night Views podcast,
get that live footage.
Talk about it. But I think, like I said, overall, we showed a lot of respect for the women's game, and because it's like, I'm not trying to be like delicate when I say this, but it's just they're bringing the type of style of play that just as men we're used to seeing. Quality shooting, ball handling. She's throwing dimes. Like her teammates, they're missing dimes from Caitlin Clark. Like she could have like 5 more assists per game than what she already has, and she's leading the league right now because they're not used to just her dimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like crazy it is. So, no, we definitely respect the game. We're looking forward to it. I'm really excited for this playoffs, knowing that Caitlin is going to be in it. So,
what's pretty cool about this is that, like, so, kind of comparing NBA to WNBA, you're seeing the NBA starting to transition with overseas, with the world basketball leagues and stuff like that. And you're starting to see that how it's a little bumpy and stuff like that, but it's coming together. With WNBA, you're starting to see the evolve, of the game of basketball and how now they're utilizing that and bringing it into, not only college, but into the the WNBA. So being this, like, I think me and you, we kind of hit it like at a perfect time because we're starting to see that transition. Like, we're going to be the ones talking about, oh, do you remember when such and such, when it first started? And we're part of that talk now, So it's awesome, man. It's pretty cool to see.
For sure. Hey, it's really been a banner year for the WNBA. The viewership is up, interest is up, social media engagement, and we'll be remiss to not mention the year that Angel Reese
all day every day
had as well. It was announced today that she's out for the remaining of the season. Her team is still in contention for the playoffs for the 8th seed. Cardosa, the big girl from South Carolina, she's still there doing her thing. Trinity Carter, they still have a shot, but Angel Reese, probably the greatest rebounder the WNBA has already seen. She's already probably become that.
Queen Reese. Queen Reese.
Yeah, she has been announced out for the remainder of the season. What's your thoughts with that, Carlos? I know you've been following her season. For sure. And the history she's made with the doubles. This story, I know Caitlin Clark's a big part of the story, but it's like a part of that chapter. You got to have some kind of part with Angel Reese with that.
Right. I mean, yeah, you can't say Caitlin Clark without saying Angel Reese, really, because like they've together, their career has grown, with one another. But with Angel Reese and all my reactions have mainly been, with the sky and all that stuff, and just seeing the way she approaches the game and how she gives it her all every time, man. She's such a fun player to watch. She and the connection she has with all the other players around the league, whether it's NBA, whether it's WNBA, with Shaq. She signed with Shaq and stuff like that. And just seeing the impact that she's had and she's brought to the game, man. I'm a big Angel Reese fan, and I think potentially in the future, I can see her being the one to bring people to come play with her for the Sky if she does stay with Chicago, and changing that dynamic. But man, it was really sad when I heard that because I felt like they were finally getting into that groove. Cordosa's finally understanding like where she needs to be, whether it's cutting on defense and whatnot. Reese with the rebounding, going straight up. She's working on her shot now. She has that 3-point shot.
Some threes, yeah.
So it was sad, but at that same notion, this is something to where like the season's kind of over right now. Yes, they're in the 8th seed, but let's not hurt your asset. Let's not hurt your number 1 star. If she needs to recover, let's give her that time. So that's pretty much what
that's fair enough. Fair enough with that. I mean, like I said, I've enjoyed this season. We watched these girls in college.
Yeah.
When Angel Reese with LSU, Caitlin with Iowa, 2 years in a row. That's because I watched them the LSU championship year 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That's when I started watching their story, and then last season, we see what happened with that. Caitlin Clark broke all the scoring records, and LSU was in the Elite 8, I believe, or Final Four. I think they made the Final Four.
Yeah, Final Four.
And so, and then you bring that to the pros, and then the highest rated games in women's sports ever between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. So, like I said, they're intertwined, bird magic type thing that they did for the WNBA. Now the season, is going to be over in about 10 days. So, I guess Angel just realized like, maybe she couldn't, push whatever the injury was, or like I think it's like a lower leg thing or arm. I forget.
It's her arm. Yeah, she was wearing a cast today on one of her. On one of the games.
And her game, literally, first off, you can't play with a cast. First off, but then her game is rebounding. Like that's
so physical. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we probably don't realize like the toll it takes on, women's bodies. We really don't. Yeah. She plays very physical, and so that's why they have kind of shorter careers with professionals. So, I'm pulling for Angel Reese next season. I think Chicago Sky. I think they still have enough to make the 8th seed. We mentioned Cardosa, Trinity Carter.
Yeah.
Maybe they can get in that last spot and get some exposure, for the Angel Reese to be on the sidelines, and cheering the team on. So I hope they still make the playoffs. I am disappointed. I mean, you're a big fan of Angel Reese, just foremost, but I was just looking forward to a playoff session where one night is Caitlin Clark and then one night is Angel. Like that just really cool for the ratings, overall. And yeah, Chicago, they're gonna get crushed. Like, they're gonna play a number 1 team. New York's gonna crush them, you know what I mean? But it would have been cool to see just, for the ratings of that. But next season, let's say they miss the playoffs and they get a good pick, add to the talent, get some free agents. And
college wise, women's, I forget who's going to be. It's the girl from the Huskies, right? I always forget.
Paige Buchers is the best player in college right now. With UK, she's a point guard, which is what the Chicago Sky could use, or whoever gets that number 1 pick. But we'll see. We'll see how the season, because again, because of these women, because of Caitlin and Angel, I'm gonna be watching the women's college more.
Yeah,
right. I want to see what UConn and then Juju, the future GOAT Juju Watkins with USC. But she's just gonna be a sophomore, so we still a couple years away from her going to pro, because you gotta be a senior to come out for women. So I'm definitely gonna watch Paige Buchers. And whoever else steps up with South Carolina, that's the champs, South Carolina.
Yep.
LSU they have Flo J over there with LSU. She was part of the championship team. Yeah. So there's still some exciting play to come. And like I said last year, I was watching the women's Final Four over the men's.
All day, every day. It
was more.
That's the point where I turned the game on. I was like, I'm gonna go see what the girls are doing right now. I can't watch this. It's not even basketball.
They were playing a better brand of ball. So it's like, and it translated over to the WNBA. So, like I said, shout out to Angel Reese.
The reason why I was asking, though, is because, right now it seems like the Los Angeles Sparks are the worst team in the league right now. So they may get that number 1 pick. So they have Brink. That's what I'm saying. They have Brink, who didn't even play this season because she was hurt.
Well, she got hurt early on,
yeah. So imagine a Brink with a Paige matchup. That's gonna be nice.
So Cameron Brink, like if people don't realize, she actually had the first month of the season. Cameron Brink was the best rookie.
Yep.
She's
Steph Curry's goddaughter, is that what it is, or god sister?
Yeah. They're like their families are intertwined, and she plays front court, so she's a big girl.
Yeah,
but she can shoot the three as well too. But she's a defensive monster. Like she's blocking shots. Like she big white girl. Like she's thin. Like she can ball. She can ball, and she has to work on her post game a little bit. Yeah. You get her, and they got is it Jackson? Rakea Jackson, she's an off guard.
Yeah.
She has a shot. She's not really like a point guard that much. You get Paige Buchers, Rakea Jackson, Cameron Brink, like that's gonna be, and they got their best player. We didn't even mention their best player. I forgot her name that quick. Let me see. Pull up LA Spark.
Yeah,
they got a baller. They got a straight up baller on their team. I see her.
Alyssa Thompson?
No, LA Spark. Let's see. You talking about Connecticut Sun?
Oh, no, they played against. Okay, that's
Derica Hamby. She's like a double machine.
Oh yeah.
She's their best player.
Up here.
Yeah, Derica Hamby's their best player. Cameron Brink was just joining her in the front court, and then you got Rakea Jackson in the back court. Yep. You add Paige Buchers to that, it's instant playoffs. Instant playoffs with that team right there. I mean,
that just sounds like a fun team to watch, though.
Oh, like I was watching. I'll be honest, because I was watching early because of Cameron Brink. Yeah, I mean, just the excitement she brought to the game. Once she got hurt, I just kind of fell off watching the Sparks. But I'm gonna renew my WNBA League Pass next season. Like I'm a fan. Sir. I'm a fan of what they're doing. And we're gonna see LA Spark. Hey, since you looked that up, that may be the team to watch next year, y'all.
Yeah,
LA Spark.
For sure. So, I'm like, hold up.
Hey, good tip right there. So we're gonna round this out for this episode of Night Views. Again, little overtime tonight because of the Lions. They take too long to get a win. Like the Lions, like let's get better.
Get it together, Lions.
You know what I'm saying? You need extra quarters out here, bro. Like my Bears didn't know extra quarters. We took care of that in 4 quarters. The Dolphins took care of that in 4 quarters. So just saying,
and we were down. We were both down, and we came back.
I'm just saying, let's be better, Lions. Come on, man. Got us staying up all late, but definitely, Silos. Again, we gotta make sure all these links are together on the Night Views channel. What you be doing during the week, man? You want to throw it out there real quick?
Yeah, man. Real Talk Productions over at YouTube. As we mentioned, I do a lot of reactions. I do a lot of animes. Power came out, so a lot of reaction on that, and then everything sports. Whether it's football, basketball, women's, boys, all that. Like I'm reacting. I'm trying to make that the Real Talk Productions the place where you go. You know, obviously Night Views here and the Real Sports Talk, where when you want to see all things WNBA, women's or college, like I want that to be that let's react together area, you know. So
hey, so you already know, because I already know, like when the buzzer goes off, like I'm not ready with my video. So y'all go to Carlos' channel, go to Real Talk Productions with those reactions, right? Because he has that on lock. Like I said, over here with Night Views, we come together, you know, Sundays, Tuesdays during the NFL season. But check out our individual channels for sure. We got our own approach, you know, individually, but we come together for a powerhouse show.
Yes, sir.
You know, and we're only getting started, man. Like I said, we're really trying to push this out more with on social media, and the season just starting, so it's gonna be pretty fun. It's gonna be pretty fun to.
A lot's going to be happening, man. A lot's going to be happening this season. I'm excited.
Yeah, fun stuff. So, like I said, Sundays, Tuesdays. So, be back here Tuesday. We're going to react to the Monday night football game and whatever happens with the WNBA over this weekend. So, that's what we're doing.
Yes,
Night Views. Myself, SYL ABDUL. Silos. Till next time.
Peace.
Yeah.